see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello everyone and welcome to Live at the Bike, brought to you by the Bicycle Casino in Los Angeles, California, the first and only webcast of real action cash game poker. My name is Bart Hanson and I'm joined tonight by David, New York Jets, Tuckman.
That's good, I like that.
How you doing tonight, Dave?
I'm doing really well right now.
I don't know what to say about the Wayne Corbett jersey.
Yeah.
But, of course, as we always do on Friday nights, we have our big unrestricted buy-in, no-limit game.
Mm-hmm.
The blinds starting out in this game are going to be 5 and 10. They may be moved up to 10-20 later on as we get more players. So let's go to the table and get to the live action. So we're going to introduce the table first as we get a dealer change there.
Right, in seat 1 there, we've got Joe. And you guys can say the yellow chips are $5 chips, the purple chips are $25 chips, and the white chips are going to be $100 chips.
Blue chips are $1 tokes.
Right, there you go.
Yep.
In seat 2, we've got Ollie. There you go. In seat 3, we've got Jerry. There we go. And seat 4, we've got, looks like it's going to be Gore, but he's not there yet.
Yep.
Seat 5, we've got Mark. And seat 6, we have Barry with his large amount of chips there, huh?
Yep.
Seat 7, we've got the ever-famous Dr. BB. And seat 8, we've got Alan. He's not there yet, but he's coming. And seat 9, we've got Mo.
So we're familiar with a lot of the players on the table, although seat number 1, Joe, seat 3, Jerry, and seat number 5, I do not believe we have seen on the table before. Of course, we're familiar with Mo, Alan, who's coming, Gore, who's coming, and et cetera, et cetera. And people who are familiar with the show know that Gore and Barry have gone head-to-head many, many times for thousands and thousands of dollars. So it's always fun to see them two at the table. So we're going to start off the night right here.
You're going to put first up these two.
We've got the cards up. Oh, look at this. Look at who has sat down into seat 4 as Dr. BB leads out with top pair. It is the Jesus, the Mexican poker king.
Our savior.
Coming into seat 4, our savior. Folks, get ready for a ride tonight. This is going to be a good one. It looks like he's got some cash there behind him.
They should actually have a new ride out there called the Jesus. It's a roller coaster ride. It certainly will be.
Yep.
I have no doubt. I'm not sure what he's buying in for, whether it be $1,000 or $1,500, but he will ride that up to, could ride that up to $5,000 or $6,000 and back down and back up all night.
As we saw last night, he was last week on Friday, he was up $8,000, back down to almost felt. And when we left the show, he was brought it back up to $4,000. And it's interesting because a lot of people, they want to play a little tight, give him action when they have got good hands, but he's not afraid to call when he's behind and suck out.
Yeah.
He likes to gamble.
No fear of sucking out.
Yep.
He likes to play the Mexican poker, no-limit Mexican poker for high stakes.
Yep. Which is a variation of 5-card stud. So we've done a little bit of thing there, change of the camera. We've got a new camera angle. We continued on with the kind of the 45-degree glancing angle, and then we've put a camera behind Greg and a camera here, as we normally did when the table was back in the other corner before we opened up the plaza level.
Right, well, we've got this new section here. And
so Jerry's brought this one in for a raise with ace-jack, and Jesus is going to make the call with 5-6 offsuit. We're going to see more and more of this. And look at this. He's out-flopped Jerry. The flop is king-queen-5. Jesus has the best hand. And Jerry has bet $100 here with the ace-jack, and Jesus quickly calls with bottom pair.
Yeah, Jerry's got some outs here. He needs a 10, an ace, or a jack.
Well, there's another queen that comes on the turn. Let's see how now he's going to check it. Wow, Jesus is going to give him a free card right behind him. And the river is a 7. And if it gets checked down, Jesus is good. And he's going to show the 5-6 offsuit and welcome these new guys to Jesus' style of play. Welcome to the game.
Yeah.
And there's Alan right there coming into the game. He's going to be coming into seat 8.
Alan, one of the nicest guys I've known, but he's when I see a table like this, when you got Jesus and you got Mo and you got some, people that are willing to throw the money around. Sometimes I look at a guy like Allen and I go, he might be the bait,
Yeah. Well, there's a player in seat number 8, so I don't know if he's playing over Allen. We'll get that all straightened out.
Yeah.
His name is Paco. He's playing over Allen, so we'll probably see him for a round or two. So Mo there is in the big blind in seat 9. Of course, you can follow a live thread that's started every night by going to 2plus2.com, spelled out. Click on Tournament Poker, World Poker Tour, and other televised tournaments, and we're right there. Questions, comments, suggestions. Put your own commentary on the play. Got an ace-king here. Seat number 3. That's Jerry. King-jack suited for seat 1. And it looks like Jerry brought this one in for a raise there in seat 3. So I'm getting word that they're going to change the game to a $1,000 buy-in here after the hand if no one objects. I'm trying to see how much Jerry raised there in seat 3. Because he is the initial raiser. $35 raise.
$35 raise. That's a pretty small range with ace-king.
Yep. And we're going to see 5-way action.
And that's kind of inviting. It's building a pot, but it's kind of inviting a lot of callers.
So we're looking at about a $175 pot to the flop. We got a 3 flush, queen 10-4, all clubs.
Jerry does have the king of clubs in his hand, so.
And he's got the gut shot with overcards.
Yep.
Not that bad of a flop there for ace-king with the king of clubs.
Not bad at all. Now, Joe's got an open-ended straight draw, but he's got no club in his hand, and with 3 clubs on the board, he's got to be a little wary.
And it's going to get checked to Barry there in seat 6, and he's betting there on top pair. He's got queen 9. Looks like it's a $60 bet into a $175 pot. Kind of a weak bet. Joe there, he's going to call with the open-ended straight draw. So the pot now is about $300, $60 to call.
And no limit, that's got to be a scary. I mean, it's a little easier to call in limit than it is in no limit. Joe's got to realize that.
And look at this. Jerry's going to check raise here. He's going to raise it up to 160. So now the pot is 520, 160 for players to call. It's a tough call for Barry to make here with top pair with no club.
Now, Jerry's really representing strength here. Now, he was the pre-flop raiser, and when a pre-flop raiser actually checks and then check raises, it almost suggests, wow, this hand hit him like, right up the...
And both players fold, and Jerry takes it down there with
nice semi-bluff.
powerful semi-bluff.
Yeah, nice play there by Jerry.
So Mo is proposing to the table now if he can raise the blinds to 10-20. And we'll see. I think if anyone objects, they can't do it. Is that how the rule works here, Dave? Normally?
Generally speaking, Mo's pretty persuasive. I can't imagine it being a problem
Right.
at this table. I really like that play by Jerry. He saw a little weakness in Barry's weak $60 bet. And then when Joe only calls $60, he goes, okay, nobody's got a big monster hand here. I'm going to take it away right now. And like you always say, when a 3 flush is on the board, it's tough to make those calls.
Well, Jesus is going to call here with 3-10 suited from early position.
Hey, it's suited.
Yep. And the blinds have been gone up to 10-20 there because it looks like they're limping in for 20.
Mm-hmm.
So we did change it up.
And seat 2 there, Ollie decided to limp in with ace-jack offsuit.
And Mo's got pocket 8s. So we're looking at a $100 pot here to the flop. Queen 8 deuce, 2 diamonds. So
And
Mo's got middle set.
2 diamonds here. Jesus is going to be... Jesus isn't going anywhere, you know that for sure.
And I believe he bet 500. Jesus bet $500 with the flush draw here. So let's see what Mo does here. He's got middle set. He's checked it to Jesus.
No, there's one behind you still.
Show the logo. Okay.
500.
Wow, he's just going to call here. He's playing it slow, Dave.
I'm not sure how much money does Jesus have behind him. And that was the case 8, by the way.
Yeah. And actually, you know what? Jesus looks like he might be all in here.
Well, it's on you.
Well, maybe not, because there's still action. Okay, he's got more chips. Pot's $1,100 now. And Mo is filled up. Jesus is drawing totally dead. A deuce comes on the turn.
And a 10 on
And
the
it goes
river.
check, check on the turn, and a 10 comes on the river. So Jesus has picked up a pair. And Mo bet 200 on the river, and Jesus made the call there with the 10. So it was a $1,300 pot, only 200 to call. Jesus chose to call with the 10.
It's not. I mean, we obviously can see that it's a bad call, but it's not a terrible call when you think about it. It's a $1,300 pot. He's getting 6.5 to 1 on his money, and if by chance Mo missed his flush draw, maybe his 10 is good.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know better.
It's 30 if you want to buy the button. Or you can post between just 20, small, big. All right? See that?
And Jesus is reloading for 1,000, which is the minimum buy-in now for this game.
Of course.
Well, you kind of half want to root for Jesus, though, because he adds a lot of action to the table and makes it a fun show.
Yeah,
You know?
more than half root. I want to fully root for him.
Yeah. I mean, he's here to gamble, and that's always nice. Pocket aces for Jesus. Or, excuse me, for seat 3.
Jerry, yeah.
Jerry.
He went to the other table.
And he looks like he either straddled there, Dave,
She's looking for the fella that just left, Dave.
or he's in the big blind.
I think he is in the small blind. I think he is in the big blind, actually.
He's in the big blind.
Because
with
Alan's a
aces.
new player.
Well, we're getting word that Ali is in the big blind. Ali was in the big blind, so maybe Jerry Raker was a straddler.
No, I actually think Alan,
you're right.
Alan came in between.
Yeah, you're right.
And Ali was a small blind, and Jerry was the big
Jerry
blind.
was the big blind, and he's raised it up to 150 out of the blind. It looks like.
He's going to take it down with no contest here.
Yeah. Of course, in the upper levels here at the bike, you're allowed to come in between the blinds and post the big blind between the button and the small blind. So you see 3 blinds there.
Right, exactly.
So that's what happened there on that.
Instead of the classic come behind the button.
Right, so Alan put in 20, Ali put in 10, Jerry put 20 in the big blind.
I got a small blind right here. Would you like the blind? He's evidently missing. What do you drink, Mo?
Hey, well, our Legends of Poker tournament started out. And last
Absolutely.
night we had a 608 people come out for the $200 buy-in, no-limit hold'em tournament.
$42,000 first prize.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Tonight's an Omaha High-Low tournament.
Blind. 10 and 20 now. 10 and 20.
Wondering if Shirley's playing it.
And
Is
she
she?
is.
Is she? Okay, good.
She is.
So we'll get a little...
She came back here right before the show. She was at the first break. She said she hadn't really been accumulating any chips, but she's still in.
Good, there she goes.
Looks like a couple of limpers here.
Yep. Alan's got a nice suited connector there, 9-10 of spades.
So 4 players in for 20, 4 times 20, $80 pot to the flop. 3, 8, 5, a couple of diamonds.
Mark's bluffed an open-ended straight draw here. Let's see if Mark bets it.
75.
Well, he's checked, and seat number 7 there, who's got Queen 10. That's Dr. Beebe. I believe he's got Queen 10. He's making a bluff at it.
Wow, and no, well, he has a queen of diamonds in his hand, but that's...
The turn is a 6 of hearts, and Beebe's continuing to fire. He's bet 100, and look at this. Mark's going to make the call with a pair, and he's open-ended, and he's continuing to be open-ended now. So
Yeah.
Beebe has made stone cold bluffs twice.
I think he's listened to our commentary a couple of times. Heard how we say he's tight, and he said, forget it, I'm mixing it up.
The river's a 5, and Beebe's going to continue to fire at it. See how much he's going to bet.
This is a really tough call for Mark here.
He's going to bet 250, it looks like.
Because if Dr. Beebe was betting the flush draw got there.
Right.
You know, Mark's got to look at it and go, what can I beat? I can't beat an 8. I can't beat a
5.
flush draw. I can't beat a 5. What can I beat?
Yeah.
I can only beat a pure bluff, and only we know that's a pure bluff.
And you wonder if Mark's familiar with, how Dr. Beebe comes across on this show.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that's exactly what Mark says. He had a flush draw.
Now, Mark said he does watch the show, so he must be familiar a little bit.
So $250 bet here in the pot. He bet a little over the size of the pot, and look at that. Mark lays it down. We're going to have to think of a new nickname for, we used to call him Tight Dr. Beebe, but he's made a couple of moves over the last few weeks that have been impressive.
Well, that move made sense. It was a nice move. I was curious why he made the move right away, but he was in position. Everybody checked him and said, okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to bet it. And then on the river, you look at Marquette again. There's nothing he could beat.
Yeah.
Nice play by Dr. Beebe there. And a little side note there, Mo, the shirt that is hanging over Mo's back of his chair there, in seat 9, the green one, it's actually a World Series of Poker shirt that Barry Greenstein has given him as a gift. And there it is. Our lovely Don is showing it off, everybody.
Option. 3 players.
Looks like this pot was limped around 3 ways, so it's a $60 pot to the flop. 7-3 deuce. Couple of diamonds on board.
We're seeing some ragged flops out there, huh?
Gets checked around. The turn is an ace. That gives Jesus top pair.
100.
And he's going to bet $100, it looks like, from early position. And he's going to take it down.
Now, with the blinds being 10-20, these pots are right away $60, $80, $100.
4 times 20, $80
Exactly.
there. So,
There is money out there.
yeah.
It's not like the $200 game where you're stealing $11. And Jesus is a little subdued right now, and that might have just been because he took that quick $1,000 hit.
Dave, already people are commenting on the board about your voice, and that is because of the fact that you got hit in the nose by a hockey stick. Is that right?
Yeah.
Jesus has got pocket aces. He's on the button,
120.
and he's going to make it 120 to go.
And what does he have?
He's got pocket aces.
Wow, there you go. Got 2 red aces, red bullets.
Yeah. And Barry makes the call with pocket sevens.
Now, see, Barry. Now, the thing with Barry, the problem with calling $100 with pocket sevens here is Barry has enough money that it makes sense.
But Jesus
does
doesn't.
not.
Right.
Now, if Jesus had 2,000 or 3,000, then it makes sense.
And we're heads up, aces against pocket sevens. Queen, jack, 4 on the flop. Rainbow. Barry's going to check.
2.5.
Jesus bets. He's going to bet 250. Betting about the size of the pot there, Dave. And if Barry's thinking about making some sort of move, it's a wrong player to make a move against.
Yeah.
And he mucks. Again, on 2+2. You can go to 2plus2.com. Questions, comments, suggestions. Little Dave there on 2+2 says, get Tuckman some tea with lemon.
That sounds great.
His throat sounds really bad. He's been trying to stay up too late with the Legends action, with the Legends side action, probably.
I wish that was a story. Actually, I had a hockey game, like you said. I had a hockey game on Tuesday night. I play ice hockey. Everybody knows I'm from upstate New York. And took a stick to the nose, and my nose is swollen up pretty bad.
So it affects your sinuses a bit.
I guess so, yeah.
But you don't even have a cold, though.
No,
It's weird.
totally fine.
Just swelling in your nose. Yeah.
And this was it.
Look at this. Jesus has got ace-queen, and he's going to make it 120 to go. So he's raised twice. Now, he didn't show down the aces last hand.
Hey, one thing about a player like Jesus, he really takes
And he's
players
gonna
off
take it
their
down.
game because they don't know what he has.
Ali had limped in there with ace-9. He mucks, and Jesus takes it down.
And there you go.
Looks like Mark is kind of quite on the short stack there. Probably bought in for the minimum when it was a $500 minimum, and now he's got a probably maybe 400 there. Tough to work with in a 10-20 game.
Well, he played that straight draw pretty passively, and then when he picked up the pair and the straight draw on the turn, he still just called. And we say it time and time again, checking and calling with a draw doesn't usually work.
It's the table. I asked for extra slippery, and I got it.
Jesus has got a suited connector now, 9-10 of diamonds.
Break down as fast. Those break down so quick.
Looks like it's just a limp.
It actually makes my face look good. Paco, action. 3 players.
So three-way action, $60 pot to the flop. 4-6 queen. Paco's got a pair there in seat 8.
25.
And Dr. BB, he's going to bet here with Jack 9.
Wow, he's really mixing up his game, huh?
Yeah. And he's going to take it down. No. It looked like maybe Jesus called there. The turn is an 8. And it goes check, check, and the river is a 5 of hearts.
And believe it or not, Dr. Beebe's going to win this with Jack High.
This is unbelievable, Dave. Wow. Don't really know what Jesus was thinking there, calling on the flop if he wasn't going to make a move on Dr. Beebe there on the turn.
Yeah.
But now Beebe shows that down. We've seen him bet twice with nothing now. And again, if you're familiar with the show, or if you're not familiar with the show, Dr. Beebe traditionally was the tightest player on the table. He never made moves like this the first couple of months that we've been doing this show.
I always kind of, compare him to as the Dan Harrington of this table, But
yeah,
his tight image is allowing him to do this.
Yeah.
But he shows a couple of more, hands like that, and then he might be in trouble.
Yeah.
Chips.
I mean, there are certain players that you really don't want to give action to, and he was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A limp and a limp. Jerry comes in with Jack 10 of clubs in seat 3. Jesus is in with a weak ace. And Mo's got pocket deuces. And look at this. Mo flops another set. 9, 3, deuce, rainbow. And Mo's checked it, and it gets checked around. The turn is a 5. And I assume Mo's going to put some money in here now. No, he's not. He's checked it.
Wow.
And
Now, Jesus has
looks
picked
like-
up a wheel draw.
Did he bet $10 there? He bet $50. And let's see what Mo does here. You'd imagine it's going to be a check raise.
Actually, even though this is a no-limit game, the minimum bet is always $20.
Yeah, and he's check raised, and then Jesus quickly mucks. So Mo's flopped 2 sets right away here in the first 15 minutes of the show. Rabbit Cam showed a 6 of diamonds. Some people on the board are also talking about the lack of a player that we saw on the table a lot the first 4 or 5 months. Jonas, we haven't seen him here in about a month and a half, couple of months. And I was telling you yesterday that I think he is the best player at this game.
You really think so?
Yeah, I do. Obviously, Mo is very, very good, but I almost like his game better than Mo.
I guess out of our regulars, he's probably one of the better players.
50. Pot's been raised to 50.
Barry has raised here to 50. He's got King 9 suited. He's going to bring this one in, late position. And actually, Barry brought in with Queen Deuce offsuit. Paco's got the King 9, and he's made the call. And Allen's in there with 7-8 offsuit. So at $150 pot. 10-8 deuce, a couple of hearts.
150, he says.
And it looks like Allen bet. No, Barry. It got checked to Barry. Barry used his position. He actually had bottom pair, and he took it down. Allen mocked the second pair there.
I just don't see the value in raising with Queen Deuce offsuit, because you kind of put yourself in a position where you're starting to bluff before it happens, and you're basically committing yourself to carrying on a bluff. While most good players basically let the game come to them, and they bluff when the situation calls for it. And $100 here bet from Mo on the button. And Mo looks like he has Jack 9 of clubs, and he's going to take it down uncontested. Mo's using his position. He's also playing the players there. He had Allen in the small blind and Jerry in the big blind, and he figured those guys are pretty tight. They might not call. I know if Jesus was in the big blind, he probably wouldn't have bet that. Button is on Allen right now. Ollie's actually taking a break, seat 2. And Jesus is in this big blind here. And here you won't see somebody taking liberty like Mo. He knows that Jesus is probably going to call this big blind, and there's no point in stealing.
So this one looks like it's limped around. So we're going to see 5-way action. It's a $100 pot. Ace, King, 8, rainbow. Jesus has got the weak ace.
100.
And Jesus is going to bet 100 with the weak ace. Doesn't look like anyone really can call. BB had a gut shot, and Jesus takes it down. Shows the ace.
Feeling good. Yeah. Worst year of life.
Small blind.
So, Dave, just unbelievable tournaments coming up. Tomorrow, $300 no-limit tournament multi-rebuy. Boy, that's going to be a big one with a lot of heavy hitters, I'm sure.
Oh, I have no
Yeah.
doubt. Well, last night, the final table, Men the Master was at the final table. I'm not sure exactly who won last night.
Barry has raised here to 75 with ace-king suited.
I have 7 names on the
And it looks like he's not going to get any action here. And he takes it down. So I was saying, Men the Master, like, he plays small events. He plays 30, 60 games, stuff like that.
Locally, yeah. I mean, he lives in the LA area.
He lives in Bell Gardens.
Right, and
actually.
locally he plays. When he goes to Vegas and so forth, he plays
Right.
some of the bigger tournaments.
Right.
But around here, we can always see him in those $200 and $300 events.
Right, right.
And you know what? Some of the pros will say, "Oh, I don't like to play the smaller events." But last night, first place was $42,000. Now that's not bad money.
I mean, if you have the confidence that you're the best tournament player in the field, which he probably in that field was one of the top 5,
Oh,
it's a
I know
great
that.
investment.
Well,
You know?
I mean, in those smaller $200 events,
Yeah.
you can imagine how much dead money is in there.
Oh, yeah.
And he takes advantage of it. Our own Marco, one of the foremen at the Bicycle Casinos, is also at the final table last night.
Wow.
Good for him.
Jesus has raised here to $50 with ace-5 suited. I believe he was on the button. I don't mind that raise there, Dave, on the button.
No, I mean, especially...
Now, Mo's got a queen 10, and he's going to come in. And Paco's going to come in with a weak ace. So we're going to see a $150 pot to the flop. King, queen, jack. Mo's got second pair and an open-ended straight draw. And he's checked it.
Yeah, no spades out there.
75.
And Jesus has bet $75, about half the size of the pot.
Now, this is not an easy call for Mo. I mean, he's got a backdoor flush draw.
Well, he makes the call.
Yeah, he's got the gut shot. He needs an ace for a straight. Actually, no, he's got the open-ended. I'm sorry.
The turn is a deuce. The pot is $300 now. And Jesus has bet $100 into a $300
That's a
pot.
pretty weak bet on the
And
turn.
Mo makes the call.
Yeah.
And the river is a king. And this is probably going to make... And it goes check here on the river, and Mo's going to take it down with the
Yeah.
queen. I was going to say probably make it more apt for Mo maybe to call a small bet there on
Yeah.
the river when the king pairs.
Now, I'm not sure if Mo would have let it go or not, but I like the $75 bet on the flop by Jesus there. Now, had he bet maybe $300, had he bet the pot on the turn,
Yeah.
it certainly would have made it tough for him.
Yeah.
If it is 20 tables, 20 seats. Oh, so every table.
Robert, big blind.
Or just so the number of tables, 10% seats.
Dave, this is just great action at the bike. We got our $1 million jackpot. We got a new plaza level. We got all these games that are going to be in here that we don't normally spread.
Yeah.
It's just...
Talking about new games, I was just playing for about a half hour before we jumped in the booth. I was playing a pot limit mix game.
Yeah, 5 blinds, right?
Yeah, 5 blinds, pot limit. I bought it for $600. And we were playing ace to 5 low ball, deuce to 7 triple draw, Omaha high, Omaha split, and hold'em. And it was really a lot of fun.
Jesus brought this one in for a raise to 75 with ace 10. So we're looking at a $225 pot here, 3 ways. Queen, 4, king, 2 spades.
Mark flops top pair here. See how he bets it? And he plays it.
All in.
And he's pretty short here.
How big was the pot?
It was the pot was 225, and
Okay.
he's betting about 310. And I like this bet, and I'll tell you why. Shirley made a good point last night, Dave. Now, obviously, it's an over size bet. He's not going to get a call. But when you're lingering around a number, say you have 400 and the pot is 200.
Oh.
Well, if you bet the pot and your check raised all in, you're committed anyway. So why
100%.
not just go all in?
Without a doubt.
You know?
I mentioned to you last night, and I'll share it. I was watching the tournament, a little bit of the action last night, and a player had 25,000 chips left with about 12 players to go. And I saw him raise it up to 12,000. Okay? And at that point, it just didn't make any sense to me because he's raising half his chips. And at that point, you're going, well, you're pot committed anyway. You might as well just move all in. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, sure enough, the guy got raised all in, and then he mucked his hands, which didn't make any sense to me at all. I like that bet by Mark.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Especially only having, 300 chips, whatever he had. Mo's got Ace King here, huh? Or is that Paco?
That's Paco, and he chose to just check there out of the small blind.
Okay.
Wow, Ace 8-7. Now, Alan might get into trouble. Now, Ace King is checked from up front. And Alan's bet 75 with the Ace Jack. And let's see if Ace King check raises here, Dave. Action's back to Paco and seat 8. Oh, he's just got a smooth call. So Ace King
Surprising
against
with
Ace
two
Jack.
diamonds out there.
The turn is a 10, and he checks it again. And Alan bets 200. And Paco has check raised Alan all in.
Wow. Well, he chose to do
And it looks like it's probably another
470.
425 more. So Alan, pot size was about 350. He bet that too. Pot size was 350, and it's about 450 more, and he makes the call. And he's
Wow.
in big trouble. Let's see the river. River's a 4 of diamonds, and Paco's going to take it down there with the Ace King.
Well, nice play by Paco there with the Ace King. He made the maximum on it.
Well, played it a little bit slow there.
Yeah. I mean, with two diamonds on the board, it's a little scary to slow play it that much, but
Yeah.
he wanted to get paid on it, and he certainly did.
Yep.
It's a little strong. He gets in your face.
Even sometimes he gets that.
And that's what I was talking about. I was referring to when I was talking about Alan. I really like Alan. He's a really nice guy. But I see him time and time again lose too much money with, Ace Jack offsuit.
Yeah.
You know? Hands that, in no limit, they're just crap hands, you know? They just get you in trouble. And you see that. I mean, he loses a quick, about $600 there
Yeah.
with Ace Jack offsuit?
I guess he felt he was a little pot committed there at that
Yeah.
point, but
Another $400, though.
yeah.
And he's got an ace with a jack kicker. What can he beat, really, you know? He can't even beat ace 10 anymore because the 10 was on the board.
Pot's been raised, 75 at the button.
BB there in seat 7. He's made it 75 to go with Ace King.
I like this new, a little more aggressive Dr. Beebe.
And Paco lays down the 6s. Maybe he felt that he didn't want to make that call out of position, or maybe he didn't think he had enough money in front of him.
Yeah.
You know, Dave, we got into a little bit of a discussion last night about when you want to make a call when you're behind because of implied odds. Now, normally when you have a low pair and you feel that you're up against someone where you could make anywhere from 8 to 10 times the amount of money if you hit your set, 8 to 10 times the bet size. Now, BB makes it 75. So if I feel that I can make 700 on it,
Right.
if I hit my set, then I can make that call.
Right.
We even got into it a little bit further when sometimes somebody thinks they're behind, they have a pair, and they peel for one on the turn. Now, in that case, you're looking for 2 outs on the turn. So you really want to make 20 times the bet size on
you
the
should.
flop.
See,
You know?
the only problem with the implied odds theory is, and this is I'll throw at you, and I'm wondering what you think about it, is there's no guarantee
That
that
you're gonna
Dr.
get
B is
paid
going
off.
to get paid off
Right.
anyway. You might hit your 6, the flop could come out, 10-6-4. And you're not going to make any money off Dr. B with ace king.
Right. Jesus is going to bet $100. He's got king 10. The pot was limped around there. And he takes it down.
Yeah.
And that's even, more of a reason it's more of a reason why you would never really want to do it in limit. It's one of the biggest mistakes that people make in limit, peeling for sets when they miss the flop. And in no limit, too, it's like you peel for $50, you think you can make $1,000. Well, if you hit your set on your turn, boy, you got to take into consideration what the player is, what type of player you're going against. Because is he going to pay you off $1,000
Right.
if you hit your set?
Without a doubt. And then you're in a tough spot. I mean, what happens if the flop comes out? In that case, you had ace, king versus sixes. But the flop comes out, two deuces and a 7 or something like that.
Right.
Do you know if your sixes are good or are you up against pocket tens? And you're out of position. So it's really, you got to keep in mind who you're playing against and how you're going to play it. And
Now, Mo just limped here on the button, so it's heads up. And look at this, he's flopped trips. Queen, Queen 5, and he checked them from position. The turn is a deuce. And Jesus checked again, and now Mo's bet.
See, this is why Mo is good. He hits sets and he hits trips. I don't understand it. Has nothing to do with his ability. He just knows how to do it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. He limps in with a garbage hand like Queen 6 offsuit,
Yeah.
and he flops trips.
30?
Yeah, me double too.
Now, I saw last night, it was actually off the air in the 10-20 game. They were playing a $1,000 blind game. And Mo lost about a $2,000 pot to Gore in what was a really bad flop for Mo. Mo had ace-jack, and Gore had pocket jacks, and the case-jack came out of flop. And all the money went on the turn. And
Was there an ace out there, too? That's
no,
even
there
rough.
wasn't.
Oh.
And it was jack high,
Yeah.
and Mo was drawing dead. They decided to run it twice. Obviously, they didn't know what each other had.
Right.
And Mo was like, run it 15 times. It makes no difference.
Pot has been limped around. $80 pot to the flop. Ace 3-4. Jesus hits a set. And Jerry's got a pair of fours
Mark's got top pair here.
with a straight draw, and Mark's got ace 7. Jesus is just going to smooth call. Jerry bets out 60 with 4-5. Jesus smooth calls. And let's see what Mark does now.
I want a raise or a fold here by Mark. And he does.
No, it
No,
looks like
he's
he just
called.
called.
Wow.
So the pot is now about $260. The turn is an ace, and Jesus fills up, and Mark's got trip aces. Boy, Mark's going to go broke here, Dave. You got to think
unless
so.
another ace or 7 come out.
But Jerry's going to continue to lead.
Well,
He's going to bet 120. Let's see what Jesus does. And Jesus is going to raise now with his full house.
Well, this is the problem. If Mark is smart, he's got to go, okay, one of these guys is betting, one of the other guy's raising now. My ace 7 can't be good. Even if you put somebody on ace 10.
He's going to make it 300 more. $120 bet and raise to 300 more.
Wow.
So now the pot is about $800. And it's 420 for Mark to call, which would pretty much put him all in. And he's got a rough decision to make there with ace 7. He is drawing live. He could catch a 7. He could also catch a 4.
Yes,
And
exactly.
he would win, too.
Or an ace.
Or that case ace, yes.
That case ace, we didn't see it, so it's still out there.
Yep.
We do not have a jackpot possibility here, unfortunately.
So again, it's 420 back to Mark, and the pot is about $800 now.
Now, the one thing, if you're Mark, you're looking at it going, okay, what can I beat? I can't beat ace with any real kicker.
Yep.
And I can't beat a set, obviously.
This would be a great laydown, Dave. You don't see laydowns like this.
If you're going to play high, if you're going to play high stakes, no limit poker, this
Yeah.
is the laydowns you've got to make.
And look at this. What a laydown.
Nice play there by Mark.
What a laydown. And I would assume that Jerry is going to be done with the hand, too.
Oh, and Jesus has got to be, why did I raise?
Why did I raise?
Why did I raise?
Rabbit Cam shows a 5.
5, okay.
Yep.
That wouldn't have done anything.
That's one of the best laydowns we've seen on the show, Dave, I have to say.
It's a very good laydown.
Yep.
And it's one of those laydowns, you know what? When you're in the heat of the moment, oftentimes you just go, oh, I've got trip aces, I'm moving all in, I don't care. But then when you start replaying the hand and you start thinking about it, you go, what can I beat?
Yeah. Well, I felt that he was just so short-chipped, he was just going to shove it all in.
And you figured he probably would.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a laydown by him. Well done.
Yep.
Francisco, the guy that's tequila maker?
Oh, okay, Francis. Okay, I know
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Big one's here. It's on you. I think he makes his. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I started in Mexican poker too. Gonzalez.
Okay. Here's an unusual last name.
Yeah, that's different.
And did Men the Master win the tournament last night, Dave?
I get there was a chop done with 9 players left. They did
Oh,
a
okay.
chop and they left 10% on the table. And from what I hear, I guess Men won the. There it is. Men wins to break drought.
Yep.
5 players here.
5-way action here. It looks like it was limped around, so we're looking at a $100 pot to the flop. Deuce, 8. Couple of diamonds. Jesus has got a pair here. And couldn't tell who bet 75 there. But Jesus is called.
We're heads up.
So we're heads up, seat 4 against seat number 6 with queen 10.
Check to you.
Oh, seat 7. BB made a bluff again with queen 10. The turn is a 4.
Yeah, he's bluffing the wrong guy. Wow.
Wow, and he's betted again, and Jesus lays down top pair.
What is going on with
What
Jesus?
a contrast.
Thank you,
I haven't
Robert.
played there yet. Dave,
Got to warm him up. Actually, men here, it's very interesting here. He actually said he had a winless 12 months and a very disappointing World Series. He said he had 6 cashes for $86,000, but he was well in over $100,000. And then he actually said tonight, referring to last night, he played his best game ever, he said, as he won last night. And I believe he won $18,000 because they chopped it up early on. He won $9,000. They played for the final 9.
Yeah.
Congratulations to men. Hey, we got a quick chip count here brought to us tonight by Joker Gaming. In seat 1, Alan's got $600 in chips. Seat 2 is Ali with $1,200 in chips. Seat 3 is Jerry with about $1,050. Seat 4 is Jesus. He's got about $1,300 in chips. Seat 5 is Mark with about $420 now, right, you said? Seat 6 is Barry with about $4,500. Seat 7, Dr. Beebe with $1,500. Seat 8 is Paco with $1,300. And Mo in seat 9 with $3,600 in chips.
Did you mean to imply something by Mark's chip count in seat 5?
Mike, they are selling the seat, $499.
King, queen 3, all spades on the flop.
5 o'clock in the morning.
still no help.
The turn is a 6 of hearts. 420, Dave.
You were not
6 of hearts on the
Oh.
turn.
Came in 5,000 $5.
And Jesus is going to bet out here. He's got a betting on a pure bluff, it looks like. He's in position on the button. But everyone checked on the flop there. Barry's got nothing. He's got deuce 10
And
offsuit.
it's Jesus is bluffing at him.
Yeah, yeah.
And I like the bet here. Nobody's got anything.
He's going to take it down.
And that's an $80 pot he just took down.
Oh, he lost. He won the pot. He won the pot.
Yeah, I won the pot. I had it.
Said he had queen 3, right?
He had a lot of money.
Haven't really heard much from Ali over there in seat 2.
No, well, he took a big break, and now he's back. We'll see what he does.
I got it, but I don't know.
Ali's a pretty solid player from what I know. He can get a little abrasive if he takes a couple of bad beats, though.
That's true.
We've seen that, huh?
Yeah.
Mike, can I ask you, like, over 1 hour, is it okay? After 1 hour, because someone else is coming, Gore is coming too.
Limped around here 4 ways. $80 pot. Ace 9 6. Barry's got an open-ended straight draw. A lot of people like to bet in there with an ace on board. Semi-bluff.
Especially an unraised pot.
Yeah. But Jesus is going to bet with King 9.
But he actually has the best hand right now.
Is it okay for you? Yeah, it's fine. It is okay, 2 hands up.
I'll take off.
So Jesus is bet 90. It looks like Barry makes the call there with the open-ended straight. No, he's going to raise.
Nice semi-bluff raise here.
So I was going to say maybe he'd bet out. Instead, he raises in position.
Well done. Nice play,
Made
Barry.
it 300 more, and Jesus mucked quickly.
No need to hit your draw when you bet him off it.
Chips. Chips. Yeah. Come.
And tomorrow's tournament, actually, you were saying we had the $300 buy-in with multi-rebuys. It's a $150,000 guarantee.
Well, I think that's just going to be far exceeded.
Oh, last night's tournament was $150,000.
Yeah.
So, and then Sunday we actually have a $300 no-limit hold'em tournament with no rebuys. And all the tournaments start at 4:15 p.m. And we are in Bell Gardens, about 10 miles south of Los Angeles.
Heads up here, limped around ace 5 against 7-8. 3-8 jack. Again, we haven't really heard much from Paco there in seat 8. It goes check, check. The turn is a 9. Paco checks again. And the river's an ace, and Paco lets Jesus get there. And Jesus is going to bet $50 here on the river. Kind of a value bet.
It's not a bad bet by Jesus.
And Paco calls.
There you go.
And Jesus takes it down.
Now, like you were saying, Paco doubled up with the ace-king earlier, but that's a pretty amateur play there. You let your opponent get there, and then you pay him off in the river.
Yeah, I'm saying.
I got some white chips.
You have what?
Give me 2,000.
This is for you.
Going back to that hand that Mark laid down, I think it's probably a lot easier to lay down trip aces than any other form of trips.
Yeah.
Just because, especially against Jesus, we've seen him play ace rag like he did last hand.
It's just more likely.
Yeah.
If you've got Jack 10, if you've got 6-5 and it comes out 2 6s.
Right.
To put somebody else on a 6 is difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
Unless they have ace 6, they're not going to play king 6 usually, but aces without a doubt.
7-5-3 here. Couple of hearts. Ali bet 30 seat 2 with queen 5, the second pair.
Any day you want, or it doesn't matter. Wednesday or Thursday? Yeah, well, that's fine.
$30 bet kind of screams, I've got a piece of it.
And Jesus calls. He doesn't have a draw yet. The turn is a deuce. Let's see if that scares Ali. It goes check, check on the turn because it was a heart. The river's a jack. And Jesus just has 10 high there, and he gives up. Ooh, and here we go with more action, Dave.
Corporation Mike.
Corporation Mike's coming into seat 9. We saw Mike last night. I was saying you don't usually see a lot of people go all in this game pre-flop for large amounts of money without the absolute goods. And I've seen Mike push $2,000. $2,000 all-ins pre-flop with pocket queens, and he did it last week.
Yeah. I think somebody's been buffing his head. Look at it. It's a little extra shiny tonight. Now, Mike's he's one of the good guys, a really, really good guy. Whether he's losing or winning, he's always smiling, which makes it a little easier to play with somebody like that.
Pot's been limped around here 4 ways. It's an $80 pot. 7-9-7. Mark has the best hand there in seat 5.
Actually, Dr. Beebe's got top pair.
Oh, look at that. Beebe's got ace-9.
Yeah.
Jesus bets into a flush draw. And look, Mark makes a call in between with pocket fours. That's a little dangerous, Dave. And let's see what BB does in seat 7. Oh, it looked like BB mucked. Wow. The turn is an ace. And Jesus continues to bet with the flush draw. And Mark lays it down.
Well, wow.
Wow, and I'm getting confirmation that Dr. Beebe was in that hand. A little surprising there.
Yeah, I think Mark's smooth call, scared him a little bit.
Yeah,
he thought maybe Mark had a 7, like 7-6 or 8-7 or something like that.
I can see that. Yeah.
And I guess that scared him off a little bit.
And Jesus continued to bet at it. Got Mark. Oh boy, Dave, we've got pocket kings and pocket aces and ace queen. Mark's got pocket kings. BB has aces, and Alan has ace-queen.
Yeah, fortunately for Mark, he doesn't have much money.
Yeah. So. And let's see how much BB re-raises. Mark raises to $70, I believe. Oh, and Paco is the one with aces. Okay, Paco's got aces. And Paco just smooth calls, Dave. Wow.
Wow, and you know what? You're going to get a call here out of seat 9.
And seat 9, Mike.
7-8 offsuit.
7-8 offsuit. Wow. And Alan's in there, too.
And Alan's not really a threat with ace-queen, but you never know what happens here.
So we got a $420 pot. $420 pot. Look at this. Ace, 8, 6.
Ooh.
Paco's got a set of aces. This saves Mark, Dave.
Yeah,
and Paco checks the aces, and I'm sure Alan's going to bet now.
Mark got a gift from Paco there because he would have gone
broke. Look at this.
It
gets checked around, and the turn is a queen. And now Alan has aces up. And Alan bets 200 out of seat 1 with aces up. I assume that Mark is done with the hand. But no one bet the flop here, Dave. And look at this. Mark pushes all in with kings.
You know what? That
And
check
now,
on the flop.
what is Paco going to do? And Mark is all in for 325 total, it looks like.
And what do you do if you're, let's see what he does, and let's see what Alan does when he comes back to him.
So it's 325 back to Paco. Ace, queen, kings, and aces. Mike has already gotten up. He's done with the hand in seat 9, I'm
And
sure.
right now, Paco has the nuts. There's no hand that can beat him. There is no straight out there right now.
Is he just going to try to get tricky with it? He's going to
No.
push all in. Oh, boy. And the way this hand plays out, you wonder if Alan's going to make a pretty quick call. And he is going to call.
And he's drawing dead.
And Paco has won. There's no card that can hurt him.
Nope.
Paco wheels in the pot in seat 8. The river's an inconsequential 4 of clubs. What a hand. Alan can't be pleased with that. Paco checks top set on the flop. Mark thinks he's good because no one bet with the ace. Wow. And Paco played that slow. And I have to say he got a little bit lucky with the way that hand played out, Dave.
Well, the case ace comes out, and that just,
Yeah. Alan makes aces up on the turn.
I mean, if you know the case ace is going to come out, hey, no need to raise it.
Yeah.
And he got a couple of overcalls in there, and he got the money from Alan as well.
Yep.
And we thought Mark was going to get away from the hand and get lucky because Paco didn't re-raise him,
Right.
but he got trapped anyway.
Well, no one bet on the flop. Alan chose to check the ace-queen, I believe, from early position.
Amazing.
Well, Alan was actually on the button, and he checked ace-queen with that flop.
Yeah, I can't believe that, especially with 2 diamonds out there.
Yeah. Wow. And,
Especially in a raised pot. I want to see where I'm at.
yeah.
You know, if suddenly the pre-flop raiser is checking it to me,
Yeah.
I want to see, are they slow playing a big hand? Do they flop a set, like in this case Paco did? Or do they have nothing?
Well, I mean, Paco, he made the smooth call with the aces. Very difficult to put someone on that hand. We just thought all the money was going to go in between Mark and Paco.
Yeah.
Alan's a pretty good enough player to get away from ace-queen to a raise and a re-raise. I thought it was just going to be kings against aces there pre-flop.
Yeah.
You know?
And we've seen Paco slow play 2 hands, and both times he could have gotten himself in trouble, but both times he made a significantly more amount of money because of that. That was a huge pot he just won.
75.
Jesus looks like he raised to 75 out of the big blind with king-jack suited. And he's going to get called in a few spots here.
And just for the record, that was an $1,800 pot that Paco just took in.
4-way action. Oh, what a flop for Jesus. King 3 jack, he flops top 2 pairs.
Oh, Ollie's got top and bottom.
Oh, but there's 3 diamonds on board, so that might be a savior. He's going to bet 300, about the size of the pot. Pot's now 600, 300 to
I
call.
like the bet by Jesus there. He doesn't want another diamond to peel off. And Ollie's got to think about it. Is my hand good or not?
Well, the action's on Barry now. He's got 8-9 with the 8 of diamonds. Can't see how you can possibly chase that.
And you're chasing something you're not even sure if it's good or not. And there it is. He's going to fold.
He's going to muck. And what is Ali going to do? Ali just calls.
And he's in real bad
Pot
shape.
is $900 now. The turn is a 10. And Jesus moves all in, and Ali calls. And Ali's going to need to catch a 3 here, and it doesn't come. A 5 of hearts on the river, and Jesus continues to make money. His chips continue to go up. And again, Dave, I was hoping that we didn't see a diamond because it really would have been an action killer there. But a black 10 on the turn and a 5 of hearts on the river.
And
Jesus
the crowd
takes it down.
chants, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.
Really? Check that.
And it looked like Ali, he probably had...
Now, did Jesus move all in?
Yeah, Jesus moved all
And
in on
Ali
the turn, and
called.
Ali called. Ali had 800 behind, so that's another $2,000 pot right there.
I like the bet by Jesus, actually. Both bets. I like betting the pot and then moving all in. He doesn't want a diamond to peel off, and if somebody does have a diamond, he's going to make them pay for it.
Last time don't kill me, Brian. 500 behind,
And Ali is buying for 500 behind, and I thought they moved the minimum up to 1,000.
You are allowed 1 short buy.
Oh, that's right. You short buy. Yep.
Now, I personally don't think a $500 buy is enough for this game. It just puts you in a bad spot. This kind of game here, I want to have at least $2,000 in front of me.
Dr. Beebe's going to come in for a raise there in seat 7. He's got queen 9 offsuit.
And the button is where here? The button is in seat 3. Wow.
So he's in mid position there.
Yeah.
Or early position.
That's an odd raise there from Dr. Beebe now.
And he's going to get called, so it's a $320 pot to the flop. 7 deuce 3 rainbow. Jesus has got a wheel draw.
Oh, he's got the best hand there. Pair of threes.
And Jesus, he's going to bet 100 into this board.
You know what? Jesus bets it when he doesn't have it. He bets it when he's got it. It's really tough to read him.
BB's going to leave. Let's see if Ali, he's just got bottom pair. Oh, Ali makes the call. Maybe he's a little bit on tilt here.
Oh, without a doubt.
See the turn. Turn is a 10 or 9 of hearts. Is Jesus going to continue to lead? Look at this. Pretty consistent.
Went all in, right?
And Jesus calls? Or did
I think Jesus might have moved all in and Ali called. Jesus has got outs.
Nope, doesn't come.
The river is an 8. And Ali takes it down with bottom pair. Boy, that's a gutsy call there, Dave, on the flop. And again, maybe a combination of a little bit of tilt from the previous hand. Combination of a little tilt from the previous hand. He's not too happy.
Without a doubt. And Jesus doesn't have experience in Hold'em as much. He doesn't realize that not only do you not want to bluff a bad player, you don't want to bluff a player who's steaming.
Who wants to get you personally back, right?
Well, he's steaming. He's going to call anybody. He's pissed off. He's ready to throw his money in there and ready to just say, screw it, I'm ready to go. Now, I'm really confused by Dr. Beebe's play here. I think he's missing the boat on a little thing here. If Jonas was in the game and Mo's in the game and Gore's in the game and a bunch of guys that are really paying attention to the way he plays, these raises might be a little more effective.
Right.
But he's raising Ollie, who's on tilt.
Yeah.
He's raising Jesus, who doesn't care.
Right.
You know? And the raises obviously aren't quite as effective.
Yeah.
He raises out of position with Queen 9 there, and really for no reason.
And it's limped around here. 4-way action. $80 pot to the flop. King 10-10. 2 diamonds. And seat 5 there, Mike. He's got a king. He's got king deuce. And it gets checked, and a 7 of diamonds comes on the turn. And Jesus is going to bet 100 with queen 7. And Mike just makes a smooth call here, Dave. 3 diamonds on board. Wow. Oh, maybe Mike is Mike ready? No, did he call there? And Barry's going to call. He's got the jack of diamonds in his hand. I can't believe that Mike didn't raise there. Maybe he thinks the flush is already out. And another king comes on the river. And Mike is checked blind. So he's not going to make any money off of it as he makes full house.
So much for that check blind.
And he says, so much for the check blind.
I would have got
And Mike takes the pot down. Well, you can watch this show and all of the saved shows that we've done over the last 6 months by clicking on the on-demander in the right-hand corner of your screen. The archives will get you all the saved action, plus an instructional DVD from Howard Lederer. $14.95 subscription gets you all that action. Ali has raised here to 80. He's got ace-queen offsuit. And Mike is going to call with jack 4 diamonds. And Mike has flop top pair, jack 6-3 rainbow. Ali checks, and Mike's going to bet 150 here with his jack. And Ali mucks.
Still just $14.95?
Still just $14.95.
Wow. Amazing. That's like 50 cents a day for, to me, the ultimate learning tool. If you can't learn how to play poker by watching real poker, cash games, you'll never learn. I mean, it's one thing when you're watching, like, you know, poker on ESPN or poker on the Travel Channel, and you're seeing edited plays, edited hands, you're not really seeing what why this guy is bluffing because you didn't see the hour before that. Here, though, you can literally watch hand after hand after hand, and you can see how, somebody's thinking is really going through it.
I believe that Jesus raised to 60 with ace-5 of diamonds, and Ali had limped in, and he calls. King 9-3. Ali picks up a flush draw, a couple of hearts on board. It goes check, check, and now Jesus picks up an ace. And Jesus is going to bet on the ace. He's going to bet 150 there. So Ali's got the flush draw, and Ali doesn't chase the flush draw, Dave.
Well, nothing cures tilt more than winning a hand.
Dave, I always fancied myself a limit hold'em specialist. But, watching, again, between 600 and 700 hours of live poker, which we've watched now, I feel really, really confident at the no-limit table now. I just feel I have a total control over the game. And I just think the more that you watch live cash games, the better you become at the game.
Of course. I mean, there's a reason why Lane Flack, Scott Fishman, these are all former dealers that have logged in hours and hours of dealing and watching poker. Obviously, we have the added bonus of not only are we basically in a dealer's seat, but we get to see everybody's cards.
Cocktails, please. 5 players.
5-way action. It's a $100 pot to the flop. Queen, Jack, 6, 2 clubs on board. Mo there, he's got top pair. BB's going to bet out here with King Jack. And let's see what Mo does here with top pair and a weak kicker. Look at this, he mucks it like it's nothing.
Right. Well, he has Queen 7. He's not looking for a queen. And Alan is re-up there. Is he bought in for 500 or 1,000 now? $1,000.
Bought in for 1,000. Limp, limp, limp.
5 players.
Seven, 5, 10. Rainbow. And a $75 bet there by Mo with 3-7. And Jesus makes the call here with a 5, so we're heads up 7-3 against 5-8. The turn is a queen of clubs. It goes check, check, and the river is a king. And it's going to probably get checked down here, Dave. And Mo takes it down. So Dave, as kind of a form of payola, Barry actually tipped me $1 before the show came on to not say bad things about it.
Well, there you go.
The scandal about payola and how the record companies pay the disc jockeys. Well,
right.
Players paying the commentators.
Yeah,
to not. So I've been going easy on him tonight.
Look at that. There we go.
We haven't really seen much from Barry though tonight.
Well, Barry's been really quiet actually. I mean, Barry likes to mix it up and everything. He gets bored once in a while.
Yeah.
And once he does, we saw the Queen Deuce play before.
Yeah.
And he'll do it occasionally. So.
Well, it's funny that when you look at that demo reel that we have as the commercial, we've got that big hand in there from Barry and Gore from about 3 months ago when Gore bluffed about $6,000 and Barry made an incredible call with pocket sevens.
Yeah. It's when you're playing against a guy like Gore, you got to be able to. Basically, you're going to have to go. Okay, do I want to gamble? Do I want to? Because he's going to bluff you.
Yep.
And if you catch him in a bluff, you can win a lot of money.
Yep.
So there he is. There's Barry.
Yeah.
Little picture-in-picture done by our fabulous technicians. Isaac's got the night off tonight, huh? What's he doing? Got Gore in the booth tonight.
Yeah. Garo,
sorry. We're talking about Gore. I'm going Garo.
Live straddle here by Mike in seat 5. So that makes it 40 to call, Dave.
Yeah, exactly. The pot's already $70.
Very, very loose. You can loosen your raises up a lot, stealing a lot of money. four-way action, so it's a $160 pot here to the flop. And the flop is a jack, 8, 9. And Barry's got top two pairs there in seat 6.
Well, we might hear from him here, huh?
And I believe that Mike has bet here.
Mike's betting here with second pair. And a backdoor flush draw.
125. And Barry just smooth calls. Boy, that's a very coordinated board there, Dave. We're heads up. Turn is a 6. Gives Mike some additional outs. If he catches a 7, he has a straight. And Mike is checked now.
Looks like a 325 bet, I want to say.
And Mike's going to lay it down.
Wow, this is the newer, kindler, gentler Mike we see.
I don't really, Dave, you know, with that type of flop, I really would have loved to have seen Barry raise there. He's got 3 people behind him.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah,
That's definitely a scary board.
Yeah.
2 clubs, Jack 9, 8. Anybody got a 10, they have an open-ended straight draw.
Yeah.
But the action here is amazing. During Legends, last night we actually had 3 30-60 Hold'em games, 4 20 Hold'em games, numerous white chip games. And white chip, I mean $100 games. Countless no-limit games, between 100 200. Yeah, it was really crazy here last night, and it will be here the whole month of August.
3-way action here. Limped around, it looked like. Flop is an ace, 4, 10. Barry's playing a suited ace. He's picked up top pair in seat 6. And,
Mo's got a gut shot here, but I don't know if he's going to go for it.
but did Dr. Beebe bet 100 there? So Beebe bet 100 with 5, 6, and Barry just calls. And Mo calls with a gut shot. The turn is a king. That gives Mo a pair, and Beebe's going to still lead at it.
What is Dr. Beebe drinking these days?
He's going to bet 275.
And he's going to keep bluffing at this pot. And you know what?
Well, Mo, I mean, he's thinking he's got the second pair now.
Well, Dr. Beebe's he's earned the respect.
Yeah.
You know, you put him on a big ace right now.
Look at that turn card, though, for Barry. He's going to stay in there. He's got the nut flush draw now. And Barry calls, so the pot's about $800 now. We're going to see the river.
Dr. Beebe's drawing dead.
The river's a queen. Mo would not have gotten there.
Actually, would have got there with king queen.
And look at this. Beebe's going to continue with this bluff. He's going to bet 500 into about an $800 pot here.
This is a real tough. This is a one card straight out there.
Yep. And is he going to bluff another pot out here? And Barry shows him the ace-8, and Beebe takes it down with, again, some crafty play. And he's made all his money on bluffs tonight, Dave.
I don't even know what to say.
Yep.
Mo would have made 2 pair there on the river.
Yep. And he didn't give up there. He bet just enough to get him off the hand.
Yeah, well, that was it. I mean, the river card, if he was going to call, the river card really squashed any hopes there, because the queen,
Yeah.
any jack's a straight.
Yeah.
It's just too easy for somebody to have ace with a better hand.
And Beebe probably figured that he had a weak ace, and that's a great bet there on the river.
Wow. Nickname him Dr. Bluff now. I mean, he's a machine tonight. Well, I guess when you play it on the straight and narrow for 3 or 4 months straight,
Wow.
you're entitled to bluff one night.
And he tells Barry he had a straight. Spot is limped around here. Queen 10-4, 2 diamonds.
Well, as long as his bluffs don't get shown, he's going to continue bluffing, huh?
7 of spades here on the turn. It got checked around on the flop.
Whoever bets this pot's going to get it.
And the river is another queen. And it looks like Ali has the best hand here with ace-5 in seat 2. And he's going to take it down. Well, there's a guy we haven't heard from all night, Jerry in seat 3.
Now, he's pretty tight. We saw him raise with ace-king. We saw him raise with pocket aces.
Yeah.
He plays it pretty straight. Wow. Dr. Beebe's going to be my hero.
Pocket kings for Jesus in seat 4. Well, he's changed his game up a bit too, Dave. We haven't really heard from him much tonight.
No, he's playing
Yeah.
still a little unpredictable. And
So he's going to raise it up to 70 with kings. Mike has got a queen 5 suited to his immediate left, and he makes the call on the button.
Queen 5 suited.
And look at this. Jerry's going to call with queen deuce suited.
It's funny, you don't hear from Jerry all day, and then he decides to call 70 with queen deuce suited.
$210 pot, ace jack 9. Never like that ace when you've got pocket kings, but he's going to fire at it.
Great bet.
25.
And he's going to bet 125.
That's a nice bet. The pot's about 210, 230.
Oh, and is Mike thinking about making a move here?
This is a guy you can't really make a move against, but this might be the one flop you can.
And look at this. He raised it to 250, and Jesus called with the kings. The turn is a 7 of clubs. Jesus checks, and Mike's going to have to continue bluffing here.
Yeah.
He's going to bet 325, and Jesus calls it like it is nothing. And you
See,
wonder
this-
now if Mike's just going to give up on the river.
This is just not knowing the players you're playing against.
River's a 3 of clubs. Jesus checks. Mike bets 325. Pot is now about $1,000, Dave. 325 to call. Mike is on a total bluff. Oh, and he gets Jesus to lay down kings.
Wow.
Wow.
And that's the inexperience of Jesus there. If you're going to call the flop raise and then the turn raise, obviously he was just calling for it to spike one of his kings.
Yeah, that's...
And I was about to criticize Mike's play there, but he actually got him off the hand. I was going to say, the advantage against playing against a guy like Jesus is the fact that if he has kings and you flop your ace, he's going to pay you off the whole way.
Yeah.
And you can't really try to bluff him, but hey, he proved me wrong.
Well, if he thinks that Mike is trying to make a move on him, we talk about that defensive bet on the river. That might have been a time to make a bet like that on the river.
Yeah, I don't think Jesus is going there, though. I think Jesus is just looking for that.
Yeah.
He's looking for that, one of the 2 kings left in the deck.
Paco's got ace-king here. Somebody raised pre-flop, and it was Mike there, a 7-9 offsuit.
Well, I was going to say, once Mike gets going, once he sees that a bluff works.
Looks like he's flopped a straight here, Dave. Jack 10, Jack 8-9, okay.
No, he's just flopped middle pair.
Middle pair.
But those are the best hands.
And seat 4 bet 200 with absolutely nothing. He's bet in with deuce 5. And is he going to re-bluff the bluffer there? I can't imagine Paco's going to call here. And Jesus takes it down with deuce 5. And he shows it.
This is just a complete bluffing night.
Well, this is definitely, kind of what you see a lot of times at these big no-limit games, Dave. This is not the best way to play a $200 game.
Oh, he'd get killed.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you get killed, they play like this. But I'll tell you one thing, though. If a successful bluff works, it's going to happen over and over and over again.
Raise. He's going to take it. 80 total. 80 calls.
$70 raise here.
Which means nothing in this game, I guess. Who raised in
I
70?
believe it was Mike. Yep.
There you go,
Mike
9
at
deuce.
C5.
Oh, no, he had 7-6.
7-6 of hearts. He's got a suited connector.
And there's a little shot of Maria. Lovely cocktail waitress.
Is Jesus going to call with the deuce 4 offsuit for 70?
He
is. 6-way action. So that's a $420 pot in there.
Oh, this table
pre-flop.
has just gotten action. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Queen, queen 6. No one has a queen.
Mike's in the lead again.
And Mike isn't. And Mike has got the 6, and he's going to bet 175. That's a weak bet into this flop. $420 pot. So the pot is now $600, $175 to call. But you can't imagine that anyone's going to call here. And Mike takes it down.
Yeah.
We talk about betting the minimum amount to get your information, Dave, and minimum loss. I would assume if Mike took some heat there, on the flop, he probably would have to let it go.
It's not a bad bet of 175, to be honest with you, because you look at it, go, that could be a bet of I'm weak, I have a 6, I'm weak, I have pocket 10s, or I'm really strong and I want to get a call, I have ace queen, theoretically. I see one of the guys on 2+2 is talking about your physique, how you're jacked up, I guess. I attribute to the fact that you play Omaha, and it's actually 4 cards you have to pick up, except for me, where I only pick up 2 cards playing Hold'em.
Yes. 5, 10, 6 rainbow flop. Paco's got top pair here on the button, and he's going to bet 75.
And Paco's one of the most...
Actually, I believe Paco called the bet. It was Barry who bet. Barry bet with a bluff with queen 3. And the turn is a queen now, and now he's picked up top pair. Wow. And he's going to bet 150 now. And Paco calls, figuring how does that queen help him?
Yeah, well, he's a real passive Paco.
And the river is a queen, and Barry's made trips.
And now you got to think your king 10 is definitely good.
Because maybe if Barry had 2 pairs,
well, if you had a
just
10,
got counterfeited.
The only hand I'm scared of is ace 10 right now. You know, if the guy had 7-8 or something like that, he didn't get there. I don't put him on a queen.
And it looks like he bets 250 here.
And sure enough, he's going to get a call.
Paco calls. And he's going to be disgusted with what he turns over.
It's a bluff gone right.
Yep. Well, I guess you could say that's a semi bluff with 1 overcard.
Well, he was semi bluffing. You know, he had a pair draw.
Right.
He had 3 outs, and he hit 2 of them. And there's in the background we see Peter there. He's one of our regular stud high-low players.
The shorts.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's showing us his legs. Not the legs that I want to see.
He's got loafers on there, too.
Yeah, he's a New Yorker.
Damn New Yorkers.
Yeah.
Now,
we're all scum, I know.
Mike has got ace-king here, and it looks like he just chose to limp in. And that's interesting, because he usually raises with a lot of hands.
See, I mean, if you're going to raise with all those other hands, then raise with ace-king also.
8-way action here. 3 of the aces are out. And it's a $160 pot. Flop is 10-9 deuce.
Looks like Paco's got ace-9. And he might have the best hand here. And he does.
But Jesus looks like he was the one that bet, again with a stone cold bluff. He's got 3-5. He bet $100.
And this pot is about, he's going to get the ace-9
It was a $160 pot.
Yeah.
And Mo is sitting there thinking, I think Mo made the call. He made the call with bottom pair in position here, Dave. And he did.
And it was a $105 bet.
So now the pot is about $400. The turn is a 6, and Jesus continues to lead. Bets 100, and Mo quickly calls. The river's a jack.
Look at this read by Mo.
Pot's about $500. And look at this, Jesus gives up.
And does Mo think he needs to bet it?
No, he doesn't. Mo checks right behind him. And that's a read right there, Dave.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well played by Mo. That's just pure experience. He's played with Jesus a few times now.
Yeah.
He puts him on absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And he calls him down with pair of deuces.
Did you at least have a pair?
That's a $500 pot there.
Yeah.
He won with 3 deuce.
I totally agree with you about Mike. I mean, if you're going to raise with a lot of hands, why wouldn't you raise with ace-king, too?
Right, well, I mean, it's one of those interesting things where his raises aren't getting any respect anyway. Well, then, hey, raise with aces, raise with kings, raise with deuce-5, raise with 6 garbage.
Jesus is raised here under the gun with king-7 offsuit, and Ali's got an ace-queen. He's called in the small blind, and an ace flops, and Jesus is going to be in trouble. Ace-3-4, 2 hearts.
125.
And he's bet 125. Let's see if Ali check raises here.
You were saying that Jesus has got the
Oh, he's just smooth calls.
has been a little quiet here. Well, now he's got the bluffing bug.
And now the turn is a king. And look at this, he moves all in.
Oh,
And Ali quickly calls. $650 all in. Another ace comes on the river. And Ali's going to take it down there with ace-queen. Wow.
and this tonight Jesus has not quite gotten the luck he had the first night, huh? The first night he would have hit his 7 on the river.
Yeah. Nice, going back into his pocket. Down
Yeah.
about 2 Gs right now.
Chips.
And this is a great game. I mean, this is just seems like people are just giving money away here, huh? I mean, you've got to be able to call some bluffs, though, obviously, and you can't be scared. Jerry's been real quiet, huh? Seat 3?
And no 8 with no 8.
He lets his shirt do the talking. Look at that shirt. Wow.
That's what they call a busy shirt.
Yeah, you kind of wonder if he lost a bet or something.
Well, no, I heard I just never knew how to play it.
Mike's going to straddle here out of seat 5. He's got a king 9 there in the straddle spot. And that's good enough for him to raise that there out of if he gets a couple limpers
Without
in
a doubt,
front. Yeah. He likes to do that.
You do well in it?
No, he's going to check it. So 4-way action, $160 pot, 4 times 40. King 10-4, 2 hearts.
Flop top pair.
And he's going to bet 125. Now, is Ali going to get away from this in seat 2? And he does. And Jesus mucks. Mike takes it down.
I am hoping that Jesus wins a few pots here or there. He might be discouraged enough to leave. Hopefully he wins a few.
Everybody antes or low card brings in what was called. Everybody antes. High card also go call.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
Ace King here again for Paco. He's had this hand about 4 times tonight. It is not raised. And again, he just limps, playing very conservatively.
And even the hands he's won,
Yeah,
you know.
hasn't really maximized the value.
Well, no, I mean, the trip aces he maxed out value, and the ace king he maxed out, but it's more of people betting into him and him then doing something.
And there are 3 aces that are out there.
And that's all clubs. Not a good flop for ace king.
7, 8, 9 of clubs. And Mike has flopped a flush in seat 5.
And Dr. Beebe's got the ace of clubs.
And he's bet 75. And Mike, I believe he checked in early position. The button, I can't quite tell where the button is. Oh, and Mike is just going to call here. The turn is another 7. BB bets again here. You wonder, is Mike playing conservatively?
Oh, no, there's the raise.
It's going to check raise. And you can't tell how much the check raise is there. 300 more, maybe 400 more.
Looks like 300 more. Now, Mike's got a pretty high flush here. But he certainly doesn't want the board to pair again. You know, if another 9 comes out, another 7 comes out, he's got to be scared. Mo is not in there with
The
9
pot
boards.
is 650, and it's another, I believe, 200 for BB to call. But a $650 pot and 300 for BB to call.
Wow, BB's going to take one off
And he's
here.
going to call here. Queen deuce against ace jack. And the river is the 5 of clubs.
Wow, straight draw.
Oh my goodness, it's a 1-card straight flush draw out there. And Mike is going to bet 300.
And it's actually kind of...
And BB calls, and that was kind of that defensive bet there, Dave, by Mike on the end, I think. Mike bet 300 and BB just called. The board is paired.
Yeah. And Mo can, Dr. Beebe, he's in a spot where he can't really raise there because
Right.
of the one card straight flush.
One card straight flush and the board is paired.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
he's got to look at it and goes, okay, well, maybe I can make it 600 to go and maybe Mike will pay off.
Yeah.
But what if then Mike moves all in with a full
Right.
house or
Right.
or a straight flush? And look at that. I didn't really like the call on a turn, but he got there.
Well, he did get there, but again, you look at the amount of money that he made on the river. It was only 300 more. He's peeling off. Now, Mike, we know Mike actually has a flush, so he even have less of a chance. But if his cards were live, peeling off for a club there, he's got 9 outs with 1 card to come. He should try to make at least 5 times that bet that Mike makes, which would be about $1,500, and he only made 300 on the river. So
Right.
in the end, it's just not a good call overall.
Right, even though he got there.
Yeah.
It's just, and especially because he doesn't even know, because of the board and the way it was, he doesn't even know if his hand is good.
No, yeah.
You know, if he's in a spot where he can then raise it up another 1,000, hey, all the power to him.
Seriously. I should have saved 300.
And Mike says there he should have saved 300, but I don't agree with that actually, because I mean, if Mike checks Dr. Beebe and Dr. Beebe bets $200 or $300, Mike's certainly going to call with a queen high flush. I think Paco's got jacks here, and
Yes, he does.
decided not to raise it.
And the flop is a 7-8-6. He doesn't bet with the overpair. Wow.
And Jesus has got the flush draw.
And somebody bet $100 here. It was Jesus. He's betting a flush draw. He's got an open-ended straight draw there, too. 4-9 of spades. But Paco, he didn't raise pre-flop. He didn't bet the flop with an overpair. It is a coordinated board.
Yeah, I'd like to see him raise here.
And the bet was, I believe... And he lays it down. Wow. And Jesus takes it down.
Well, the one thing I will say is if you're going to limp in with jacks,
Yeah.
and the board does come out, I mean, if it comes out all undercards, but it's coordinated like that, in that case it was 6, 7, 8 with 2 spades.
Yeah.
Real scary board.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know?
absolutely. I mean, that's almost the type of thing where if you feel heat, with aces, you don't do it. But in that case, though, Paco's in an early position. Usually you try to throw a feeler bet out there
See where
and
you're
see
at.
where you're at with the
Without a
overpair.
doubt.
He didn't do that.
And then he took the bet.
Yeah.
People like to play 8-7, 7-6, and in that case, Jesus had a monster draw, straight draw and a flush draw.
Jerry there, he's got queen, looks like either queen jack of clubs or queen king of clubs. I think it's king queen of clubs.
And he made it what, 40?
60 to go.
60 to go, okay.
Jesus is going to call him with a queen 10 of hearts. We've got a lot of good hands in here. 5-way action, $300 pot, 6-9 deuce. And look at this, Mike has flopped bottom 2 pairs in seat 5.
Look at that.
And Jerry bets 125 with a couple of overcards. And Mike raises. He's going to raise it up to 500. He's not going to play around with the bottom 2 pairs. BB's out of there. And it's back to Jerry in seat 3. And seat 3 has moved all in. It looks like he was on the short stack there.
And he's in real bad
And
shape.
he's in real bad shape there. Mike's got deuce 6. So the turn here is a 9, and the river is a 4. And Mike actually got counterfeited there on the turn.
Well, the 9 actually really helped Jerry. Jerry could
Absolutely.
have won it with just a pair.
Yep.
And Jerry and his shirt are going to take a walk.
Sit open.
I don't really think Jerry sits there all day, waits for a hand. He gets king queen, which is, pretty marginal hand. The flop comes out 9 high, no clubs, and he decides to throw all his money into that? Doesn't make much sense. To me. I mean, it just doesn't make much sense to me. If you're going to wait for a hand and you've got aces or kings, okay, but king, queen of clubs, that's a drawing hand. And when you raise and you get 4 callers and it comes out 9 high with no clubs, okay, let it go.
Just warning you guys. I said
Pick a better spot.
better than last year.
80.
Anything would be for you. Disrespect.
$80 raise here by Barry. He's got pocket 8s. And actually, Mike was the raiser with 5-7 suited. And he's going to bet 225 here.
Well, I do hope Barry hits a set here. That would be some fireworks.
Well, Mike has got an open-ended straight draw.
Right, and if Barry hits a set.
And Barry's going to make it 400 to go. He's raised to 400, and Mike calls.
Wow.
Yeah, because a set, of course, would give Mike the straight.
Oh, if an 8 hits the board, all the money's going in.
The turn is a king. Mike checks. And look at this. Barry checks behind him, and the river's a jack. And it's probably just going to get checked down here, and it does. And Barry's going to take it down there with pocket 8s.
And interestingly, I like the play by Barry there. He raised and got himself a free card. Didn't really like the king, because he goes, another overcard. But he put Mike in a spot where he didn't have position, and it was really tough for Mike to bluff at it again.
Henry, if you come to the game.
How you doing? You don't shower, you don't change? I did shower, but I was thinking...
And there's Henry. Henry's there with the Boston hat and the blue shirt. And Gore is in the game now. Gore's going to be sitting in seat 3.
There's Gore.
And Henry behind him.
Well, we're probably going to see a little more action out of Gore than we saw out of Jerry.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Gore's going to have to show us his cards.
How's it going? 75.
Jesus is raised here to 75. He's got ace-king offsuit. Paco's got pocket 10s. Let's see what he does in seat 8. Again, he's played
I'm
really
pretty sure he'll
conservatively.
probably...
Smooth call.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine. Which actually is not, I don't think it's a bad play.
And he's in the small blind, and he's smooth calls.
In the small blind with pocket 10, it's not a bad play.
And Ali's in there with 9-10 suited. Nice flop for Ali. Queen 6 jack.
Flops a straight flush draw.
Yep. And Jesus has moved all in. So now is your draw worth a call all in?
If you're Ali?
Yeah.
He's got a straight flush draw.
He's got a straight draw and a flush draw. The action's back to Paco in seat 8.
Well, he doesn't have a straight and a flush. He literally has a straight flush, an open-ended straight flush draw here.
Yep. Jesus has moved in for about 350, it looks like here.
Yeah. Now, Paco, it should be an easy fold by Paco here.
I like it, man.
Even though he has the best hand.
I don't know, man. This guy was famous.
So the pot was $225 pre-flop. Now the all-in makes it about a $600 pot, plus however much you have to call there. And Ali's going to make the call on the draw.
Now, Jesus is actually ahead right now, but Ali has...
The turn is a 3 of diamonds, and the river is a 7 of hearts.
Wow.
And ace-king is going to take it down. Wow. That can't make Ali feel good.
And interestingly, I was going to say that even though Jesus was in the lead on the flop, Ali actually was the favorite in the hands. A 9 would have given the win, an 8 would have given the win. A king and any spade would have given the win.
Maybe Jack. Never puts me on 5.
How'd you lose that hand? That's not because of your
That was the money card.
No, 10 minutes. Okay, where's spade? 9, spade,
You got a lot of outs. That's sick. You have like 20 outs.
10 years, every time I see
5-way action here. Jack. 9-4. Rainbow. Gets checked around. The turn is a 4. And look at this. Both players here have got trip 4s. Alan in seat 1 and Jesus in seat 4 both have trip 4s. And it looks like Jesus just smooth called the turn. The river's a king. He fills up on the river, and it gives Mike a straight. Oh my goodness, look at this. Mike's got the nut straight. Jesus has got the full house, and Alan bets with trip 4s. Let's see what Jesus does here. He's going to move all in. And look at this. Mike moves all in over the top in seat 5. Oh, my goodness. And it's back to Alan. What does Alan do with trip 4s?
Alan's got to know he's no good here. Right?
This is like a $2,000 pot here. Mike went all in over the top for another. Got Allen covered.
Yeah, it's a tough laydown for really tough laydown for Mike, and he didn't make it. And can Allen make this down? He's got about $700 in front of him, $650 or so. I don't know. We'll see.
A bet and all in. Remember, Allen just bet on the turn, and Jesus just smooth called with his 3-4s.
Hey, well, that smooth call was huge.
And
Look at
that
him.
king came on the river, and what a card. What an action card for Jesus. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and Jesus actually whispered in Mike's ear what he had.
Yeah.
So Mike knew right away. Yeah, and I think Mike thought he had ace-4. He put him on ace-4, he said. It's hard to put somebody on king-4, jack-4, or 9-4.
Well, I think he said it was the case 4 that came on the turn.
Exactly,
Yeah.
the case 4. So you start thinking of, okay, I've got queen 10, I've got the straight already. Do people play jack 4 or king 4? And in this game, they do.
That's tough, though. I mean, Jesus moves all in. He could have done that with any 4. I probably would have called there with queen 10, too.
Without a doubt. That's a real, like I said, it's a real tough hand for Mike to lay down.
Yeah.
I can't imagine laying that down at all. Now, Allen, much easier lay down, and I'll give him credit, at least did make the lay down. I didn't think he would.
Well, an all in and then a raise all into your left, and he's only got 3-4s, the 5 kicker,
Right.
and he lays it down.
And he lays down. Good for him.
Brand new white. Didn't warn out yet.
They don't stack. There's 20 don't stack.
But Jesus is back.
Yes, he is. Back with a vengeance.
Jesus is back from the dead, huh?
It's like Barry has pocket
Even if I don't play, I sit down.
10s here, I believe.
First 2 hands I sat down, all in, back to down.
And boy, Jesus, that was a huge pot there, Dave. Over
Huge.
$1,000. Unbelievable.
Well, he had just doubled up because he was just all in with ace-king and got paid off by Ollie, and then doubled up again.
Right when this guy started whispering to me, I said, I'm screwed. He leans over and shakes my hand and said, oh.
One thing great about No Limit Hold'em is you double up once, then you double up again, 2 double ups in a row, and suddenly you go from the poorhouse to the penthouse real quick.
See, I'm trying to see how much Barry raised there if he just limped in seat 6.
I didn't quite put him on king 4.
Yeah, I mean,
That's kind of tough. Go ahead.
and then when he showed it to
It
me,
might have just been a limp. Ace, king, queen here. Mike checks. Barry checks behind him. A 7 of clubs comes on the turn. Now Mike, I believe, is going to lead.
Yeah.
And Barry makes the call there with.
He doesn't even have a 10 of clubs in
bet.
his hand. I'm
Yeah.
surprised.
And the river is an 8, and it goes check, check, and ace 4 is going to be good here.
Yeah, that's when you have when you have pocket 10s and neither one's a club, that's about as bad a flop as you can get. And you see the bandage on Mike's left arm there. He told me he burnt himself on a curling iron.
Oh, too late to straddle?
I know, I'm thinking about it myself. I'm wondering. I don't know. I have no idea what it means, but hey, that's the story he's going with, and I'm going to stick to it.
Oh, my goodness. Seat number 3 there. It's got ace, king. That's Gore. We haven't seen him play yet tonight. He's in the small blind. You imagine he's going to raise.
Probably.
Going to make it 85 straight. And I'd imagine Jesus is going to call feeling good here. Ace 4.
Yeah.
Of course, Gore's got Jesus dominated here. We're
How
gonna see a flop.
about an ace 4 flop?
How about king 6-4? That might be enough to keep Jesus in there.
Oh yeah, well he's got backdoor flush draw as well.
Gore bets it looks like 50, and Jesus makes the call.
Gore does have the ace of clubs in his hand.
The turn
so
is a 9, and Gore's hand just gets even better as it's a 9 of clubs.
that's a monster hand for Gore.
And he's going to bet 300. And Jesus says, can you beat my 4? What do you think about checking there, Dave, if you're Gore?
You know, I mean, the only problem with I'm not a big fan of it. I'd rather
Yeah.
bet it, especially with Jesus. You've seen him; he does pay off.
Yeah.
You know, I want to make him pay for it. Last thing I want is another 4. I mean, I know he's only got 2 outs.
Right, right.
Last thing I want is another 4 to come out, though. And then what do I do?
I hope so, dude.
off.
I'll buy you a drink then. Buy you a drink.
That's nice.
And a cab home.
No, we have a level here. Don't worry.
This time, Jesus has got ace king.
Always raising. I raised when I got a hand.
Or, excuse me, it's Gore again.
And Jesus has got his threes. Got a couple of red threes there, huh?
Barry is the raiser with ace 10 in seat 6, it looks like. And the raise is 80, and he's going to get called in 3 spots. So we're looking at a $320
Wow, smooth
pot.
call with ace king.
Look
huh?
at this, a set of threes for Jesus in seat 4. 9, 3, 8. And it gets checked around. The turn is a jack. And now Jesus is going to bet.
Now, Barry's got an open-ended straight draw here.
He's going to bet $400.
I don't think Barry here can call with one card to go on an open-ended straight draw, can he?
Unless he thinks that Jesus can pay him off down the line.
Well, you know
If he-
Jesus will pay him off.
I was going to say, if he knew that Jesus had a set, you might make this call. Because if you hit your card, again, you're looking at 8 outs, you'd like to make 6 times your money on the bet. And he's going to make the call.
Wow.
So we're going to see an exciting river. And let's see the river. The river is a king, so he didn't catch his card. Boy, that would have been crazy if the queen had come there. And Jesus looks like he's moved all in.
Well, Jesus, I don't know if Jesus would have seen it so quickly had a queen come out there.
Yeah, I mean, he
one card straight.
probably could have made that. He would have made that move with the queen,
Oh, without a doubt.
and Barry would have had him. Although you wonder. I mean, it is a 1-card straight there, though. So
It's hard to get away from. It's hard to get away from a set, though. I don't know if Jesus is capable of getting away from that set. Hey, and Jesus has gotten healthy real quick.
I always talk about what they say the fundamental theory of poker is what you would do if you knew what your opponent had, exactly what he had if he were to turn his cards over. And in that case, Dave, like I said, if I knew Jesus had a set, I might make that call with $300 because I think I can make $1,500 on the river if I hit my hand.
Yeah, and there was about $320 in the pot before the flop. So
Wow, ace queen, ace jack, ace jack. Mike has raised to 225 here with ace jack off suit. Mo had an ace jack suited and he mucked. Mike's trying to pick up the limpers there from the small blind.
well, Mo is more likely to call him with 4-5 suited than he is with ace jack suited.
Yeah.
And let's do a quick chip count here, brought to us tonight by Joker Gaming. Seat 1 is still Allen. He's got about $800 in chips. Seat 2 is Ollie with $1,300 in chips. Seat 3 is Gore. He bought into $5,000. Seat 3 was Gore, $5,000. Seat 4 is Jesus, and he's got about $2,500 in chips now. Seat 5 is Mike with $2,800. Seat 6 is Barry with $5,200. Seat 7 is Dr. BB, who's now got $4,000 in chips. In the last hour, he has built a stack up from $1,500 to $4,000.
Wow.
Seat 8 is Paco, and he's got $1,500 in chips. And seat 9 is Mo with $3,500.
And mind you, BB has made all his money on bluffs.
Yep. And $2,500 on bluffs, I'll say.
Yeah. He's shown down one hand and it was a bluff, and he won with Jack High, a la Alex Power style. King 9 deuce here on the flop. A couple people share the same hand. It's Allen in seat 1. Jesus in seat 4. And Mike here has raised to 900. Jesus bet with the king 300, and Mike raised it to 900 with just second pair. What a gutsy raise.
Yeah, I'd like to see what Jesus does, but I don't think Jesus is going to lay this down.
I think Allen's going to get away from it, though, now.
I would imagine so.
He's just got king jack, a bet and a raise. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know if Jesus is going to lay it down.
No, I think he might move all in.
Well, the thing about Allen, though, is he's short chipped.
King Jack, he's got,
yeah, he mucks. So let's see what Jesus does here. Look at this, he mucks the king. And Mike shows 1-9. Boy, and Mike really is a gambler, isn't he?
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, he is playing with fire. I mean, he's bluffing a player that I did not think was
Capable of making a laydown with top pair.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge laydown for Jesus there. I mean, I'd like to say I'm impressed with Mike's play. That's really very gutsy. Yeah. I don't think I could do that move, to be honest with you.
Well, you'd rather pick your moves in better spots, though. I don't know if it was the correct move.
Well, you got him to lay it down. I mean, hey. I just didn't think Jesus was capable of laying down king. He got two players to lay down a better hand.
65.
Impressive.
Mike has raised now to $65. He's got Queen Jack of diamonds. He's in the cutoff. Look at this. Barry to his immediate left. He's got the same hand. And Jesus has pulled the limp re-raise all in. And all he has is king deuce. Actually, not all in, but to another 300. Thought he pushed all in. And look at this Mike calls. He's going to call the $300 re-raise.
Well, Mike is smart here. He's thinking, okay, I just showed a bluff.
Yeah.
I think, monkey see, monkey do. I think Jesus looked at him and goes, you know what? You bluffed, I'm going to bluff.
Well, Barry, with the same hand as Mike, Jesus is in good shape to take this hand heads up. King deuce against Queen Jack.
Jesus is the best hand there.
So the limp re-raise to 300.
Queen Jack offsuit here. I mean, that's, well, let's see.
That's not a good hand.
Yeah, he's on the button, but that doesn't mean much.
So we're heads up.
And Jesus is really in command here.
Well, Mike has got position. It's about a $650 pot. Now, no one catches any piece of the flop. 8-9-3. Well, Mike has got a gut shot to the 10 with overcards. And wow, Jesus bets 500 and he takes it and he shows the king deuce.
Hey, monkey see, monkey do. Almost guarantee that Jesus was going to bluff there. And I'd be really surprised if Mike didn't try to bluff this hand now. They're just one-upping each other back and forth. Well, they say,
you like how Gara is zooming in on Jesus, but in actuality is moving more towards the upper left-hand corner of the screen.
The one thing they say about bluffing, they say, money won bluffing is twice as sweet as, money won by showdown.
And Mike here has raised to 140? 130 Mike has raised.
Now I gotta tell you, you see this going back and forth. If you're Alan with ace-jack in seat 1, why not just move all in?
So we're going to... and I think it's Jesus who raised. Jesus raised to 130. We can't see his cards.
There we go.
He's got king queen. And the flop is king 7 queen. And he's going to bet 500 with top two pairs.
And that's a great bet. It's a great bet. You don't know if this guy has two pair. He's got nothing. He's got a...
Oh, is Alan going to make this call? He's got a gut shot and one overcard. The pot was 300 on the flop, so now the pot is 800 with this $500 bet. And it's 500 for Alan to call.
And sometimes when you see all this bluffing going back and forth between Mike and Jesus...
And look at this. He's going to make the call. He's short chipped, though, Dave. He's short chipped, and he's going to have to catch a gut shot. A 3 comes on the turn. And the river is a 10. The river's a 10. And he sucks out on Jesus. He makes the straight. And boy, this table is just going crazy. Unbelievable. Boy, how far behind was he? How far behind was he on the flop?
I was about to completely rip Alan. I still can. I mean, you fold top pair, and then you see a couple of guys bluffing, and you go, okay, I'm going to call you high with my ace high. And then he just gets lucky.
Wow.
God, it's like the players at this table have no regard whatsoever for money. It's fabulous.
Well, and as Jesus continues to pound the Coronas, we're going to see more and more action at this table. I just hope we don't miss a lot of pots during table talks.
So the only thing I'm curious of, okay, let's say you're a new player, you sit down at this game, you're watching it for a while, okay? And you sit down at this game. What's your strategy? Because every pot is a $100 raise. What are you waiting for? How do you play this game?
That was amazing.
Do you wait for the nuts? You wait for pocket aces? Or do you start mixing it up with some suited connectors?
I think
for $100?
Jesus raised here again. He's got pocket threes. And I think it was an $80 raise pre-flop.
Actually, that's Gore with pocket threes.
Oh, and Jesus had raised with ace 4. The board is queen, queen, deuce 9. It was a $100 raise. He got called in 5 spots or 4 spots, so it's a $500 pot. And the river is a king. And I believe that Gore has the best hand with pocket threes. That's a nice $500 pot to win. Well, who's got the... Oh, Mo, we didn't have, Mo had a king 9.
There you go.
Ah, there we go. And this table is moving so fast, it's really, sometimes it's difficult to keep up with. Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you one thing about when you're playing at a table like this, you definitely don't want to buy into the minimum. Since there's usually a $100 pre-flop raise on every hand, if you only buy in for $1,000, 10% of your stack is in there before the flop even comes out. You know, you want to have some money so you can hit big.
Oh boy, Jesus has raised again here. He's made it 165, but Ali has woken up in the big blind with pocket aces. And we can't quite tell what Jesus has in seat 4. And Jesus has just got a jack deuce offsuit. And he gets called in a couple of spots, in 2 spots, and Ali now moves over the top, all in.
Well, the pot's 165 times 3 already.
Yeah, the pot's it's $500 pot, and Ali's going to move over the top, all in.
Well, he doesn't want more than one caller here.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't get any, it's fine, too.
And it looks like it's $1,000 more there, Dave. And I can't imagine anyone's going to call.
I mean, the amazing thing is, Jesus made it $100, $140.
And he takes it down.
Jesus made it $160 to go.
Yeah.
Got called by King 6 suited and Queen 9 suited.
Oh, unbelievable. Yeah.
I mean, $160, just pure gambling.
Some of the craziest action we've seen.
I like the play. Now, I was going to say, remember before when we saw Allen had ace-jack?
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? If Jesus is going to raise it every single flop, every single hand, if I pick up a big ace or any pocket pair above 9s, I'm moving all in. I'll take the money pre-flop. You know, or I want to get it heads up and just see, you know, I'll have ace-jack, he'll have jack-deuce, and I'll gamble a little bit.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that. I certainly don't want to call with ace-jack, and then I miss my flop, and then what do I do?
275 Barry is raising here. He's got pocket 9s. My goodness.
Hey, he wants to thin the field out. I mean, $165 bet does nothing. You got to make it $250.
Yeah.
This game is crazy.
And in some of the action, we can't see Dr. Beebe's cards there in seat 7.
I'll tell you, we are live at the bike. We are 10 miles south of Los Angeles in Bell Gardens. And if you are within...
Oh, Beebe's got an ace-queen suited. That's what he's thinking about. It's a $275 raise. Would Barry make that kind of raise with aces or kings? Oh, Beebe mucks.
Oh, shit. 10! 10!
Did somebody go all in, I heard, or no? They were joking.
Yeah, it looks like someone...
Nobody has much of anything here.
And Barry's going to take it down here.
And we're talking, I mean, these pots are $500, $600 before the flop even hits the board.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, Barry's in a great spot. He's right after Jesus and Mike. And seat 6 is really where you want to be in this game. Live. I love it. We got a live straddle out of Mike here, as if this game needed any more action.
So, Dave, this is going to be the last hand before table talk.
And it looks like
Paco's got pocket 9s.
he's not the action guy at this time.
No. Looks like he just limped. Paco and seat 8. We're going to see a flop here. 4-way action. $80 pot. Ace 5 queen. Two people both have ace deuces.
And it's a 2-action guy, so you'll see something flying around here.
But look at this Mo. He's going to bet 100 with absolutely nothing. What? Oh, Jesus bet. Wait. I think Mo is the original bettor here. Mo bet. I think Jesus called and Mike raised.
Yeah. That's exactly how that actually went. It was a check. Mo bet 150. Jesus called 150, and then Mike went over the top 400.
There we go.
250 raise.
Well, so Mo has got to release this hand, obviously. I don't know what he's thinking about.
He's got nothing.
Yeah. Oh, and look at this. Jesus is going to lay the ace deuce down.
I tell you, Mike is just, Jesus has been Mike's little, whipping boy here. And see, he slaps him. Nice bluff there, Mike. Well, not really. He was bluffing with the best hand. He just didn't know it.
You guys catch on camera? He's slapping.
Well, Dave, we're going to go to Table Talk right now. Hope everyone has enjoyed the first 2 hours. I know we have. So we're going to turn our mics down and turn the table atmosphere mics up. Enjoy tonight's portion of Table Talk, and we'll be back in 30 minutes.
Sounds great.
One ace only.
What do you got this time? What is it? 165. 265. 260.
One ace.
500.
Yeah, how are you?
Do it, Mike.
You can do it.
Do it, Mike.
We cannot know.
Huevos, Mike.
Huevos.
Mucho grande huevos.
Well, I'm for what? You want to call me around 3:30?
King Goose?
Around 12 o'clock.
Oh my God. That's good. That's good.
Come on, man. You need to play the kids, sir.
How come you guys doesn't come when Alan don't lose, huh? Mike, what do you have?
Start selling the I want to be like Mike shirts at the gift shop.
Mike, Mike, what did you have?
Wait, I'm going to tip you even though you didn't do anything.
Mike, you should play this.
Thank you.
Let's suck at tournaments.
Mike, you're my new hero.
I don't want to pretend.
Okay?
His hands only
Good job, Mike.
card.
When I grow up, I want to be like Mike.
Are you 21 yet? There's some rumors about you.
Okay, I go 500.
Hey, I got to look. They get excited up there in the booth? Tell them I'll sign autographs later. I've never been there either.
You're the only person calling I came from.
I was going to call. I got a big pair. 325. What do you get? I have ace.
You got 3 outs.
One Jack 10 club.
Three?
Jack 10 club. Oh, yeah. the ace
Oh,
is
I would
fine.
win. I had six. I think it's a free. Yeah, I know.
Thanks, God. He doesn't call, I call, and I lose. He doesn't call, I call, and I lose.
I would lose because I Jack 10 club.
What do you have?
I was going to call it. When he calls, I can't call it. Blinds up. I'm the smallest dog. Chips. Be right with you. Big blinds up.
We gotta advertise that.
Like, yeah, a little room for me. I know you're a big guy and all that.
You eat chips? Yeah, 6 more. All right.
Okay, you got 19 behind 4.
Yeah, he's 19.
Probably gonna be like
200.
200. Great. All in.
Yeah. 200 all in.
200 all in.
Should the rest of us just sit out while you two guys go at it? How much is it?
Can I have your couple?
Call.
Wow. You had a.
I like it.
Oh, that's it. How much was it?
Oye, estoy loco, compadre.
Just for future reference. It's a bad call. I could have Jackson.
If I had a.
You want it?
I called because he called me sometimes.
I'm trying to mean every hand.
You play bad, you win, man. Oh, it's a bad call. No, man, trust me, it's a bad call. All in for $2,000.
100.
I just was telling them about one hour. But it's so amazing when someone tries to that's everyone. Unbelievable.
Yeah, 10. Check.
They're good.
Para que se vayan alivianando.
I thought I had called.
Para que se vayan alivianando.
I thought I had
No puedo pagar,
looked back down, I had
no puedo apostar ya no quiero pagar 300.
Son of a bitch.
Este se está aventando putazos en todas.
That might have been the biggest mistake I ever had.
Con par de
I looked at my
10,
hand because I had
$2,000 y ya no traigo ni un
I thought I had 10
5.
of the clubs. I had 10 of the diamonds. 2 clubs full. So I called 200 and I called 300 on the turn. And then I missed. I looked back down. I'm like, what am I doing? I thought I had 10 of the clubs. I told you. I looked back down. I had 10 of the diamonds. What a moron. You got me sweating.
Okay, I raise no look. Raise no look. I raise no look. I don't care if they put me all in. 100.
Thank you.
For 100.
What is it till? 100. God, I can't believe I did that. That was like $700.
Oh, I do.
I can't believe I did it.
That's 100.
$100. It's the first time dog. That's the first time.
Bucket.
Something else you look back at, like,
My dad.
I thought I was sitting like this, and the flop comes
hard diamond, and I think it's diamond hard. And I got 2 diamonds. So I'm looking at the turn. Turn on the diamond, the guy goes all in. I instant call him, and I look back at the flush draw. I'm just on the river, cost me $1,300. And here, I'll warn you about something. You look at the same card twice. Look at this thing. One move. Mike, I looked at the 5 of diamonds twice, and I thought I had pocket 5s.
Oh my god. And you thought you had a set?
No, it didn't come. But I was waiting for a 5.
5 hits your own.
So then the tournament, I'm like 25.
That's the first time I've ever done that. I think I had 10 8 of clubs to hand before, so I thought I had 10 8 of clubs. I looked back down, I'm like, what the hell was I doing? Unbelievable.
I raise mine. Only this. It's use your hand,
Huh?
Put them on the window. I don't look at your bed raise.
I called the whole way. I thought I was on a flush draw. And I looked at it. Well, I'm glad a flush didn't come. I would have went all in. Oh, it turned out for a different suit.
Couple of times that happened.
Oh my god. I'm losing it. I'm still shocked by the pocket 10s.
500.
All right.
Okay, just to let you guys know, there's other players besides the 3 year. Word up.
Yeah, play on. I love it. Don't get excited.
How much, Mike?
$475. $975. I'm sorry. $990.
No, the 50 don't play.
$975?
$990.
I go all in.
Draw live. Either 4 or 9. Nobody has my house.
I cover everything. I got. Hold on. You have more than 5,000?
No, you took all my money.
No, I was just doing 125. 2,500.
Yeah.
35. 4,000. 43. I got over 48. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I covered. I covered. This is 25. This is 35. 4,000. 43.
48. You got your cover.
I got 4,000. 45. 45. 47. 10.
25. Is it?
35. 40.
40.
43.
43. Take 100 back.
You have 47.
I have 47.10. So I give him 90 back.
Oh, wait a minute. That's 47.
$10. That's it.
$10. That's it.
Wait, what's that?
No, that's it.
It's his money?
Yeah, and you get the main part. You get that one.
Nice hand, Gordon.
Thanks, man.
No, I can have it.
Send it.
I will.
Send it to Papi.
I just said it at a time.
Hey, give me $1,000 purple.
What do you want?
Purple.
There you go, Mike.
It was a bad change of hands. All my money.
You have double brother?
No, I opened ended. I had all my outs out there. Neither of them had it.
Very many under?
I'm the one who said.
Yeah, you got 1,000 from me.
5,000.
4,000. Yeah, 8-9 there. That's.
Yeah, but why is it going on?
When you overcall it, when you just call it.
No, I already knew. And now
Put him on H10.
I actually put him on exactly 10-8 or 10-9. Or like 7-9. Or, you know, like a pair and a straight drop.
All my outs were up there. And I was getting 3-1 for my money. Couldn't get it.
Didn't I say I was
Yes.
He's not a good guy.
I know I
Not a good guy.
Check it.
Oh, yeah. This is all that counts.
I have best hand.
They don't know that one day if I wake up, I'll buy him and sell him 10,000 times before I go to the bathroom. Shorty goes to town.
There's no way just at one time. Every time I had the best hand. Each time I had the best hand.
Glendale and Colorado. You know the one with the fountains?
It's king clubs or toss.
Right in front of the mobile gas station. Right in front of the whipped cream.
Service. Got it. Yes, sir. Get you tonight. I'm going to have 2 seats available. I had the best thing.
Wow. I had the best.
Jack at least. You gotta love the
I go call him down.
I'm happy with my hand.
Me more than
You got it.
No.
I went all in with deuces and calls.
If he would have called, I would pay him off. I got him on the I had him on the club. I had him on the
He's doubling up.
Yeah, you took all my money.
I know.
To the call, man.
I know. I'm looking for I don't mind if it's broken. Oh, no.
Come on, man. I'm trying to buy a new bracelet.
I was just about to call. Yeah.
If you showed me, I'm different. I would have
8-9,
called.
I would have walked over to him.
Especially since he's the one that went home.
He just can't play 8-9 like that.
You called me stuff.
You don't probably get my money, man.
I was thinking in his hand I didn't want to
I
isolate.
would call and you would take my money. What a one hand is 6 figures. I was at Ace King $5,000 swing.
everybody now calls Hollywood. Even at the Bombers, he calls and says, "This is Hollywood. I'm coming."
Just us.
I know, I didn't give you the name, man. I gotta give him percentage now. Every time I win. Well, I haven't slept since I saw you.
That was when
I've
you
been playing Commerce all night, all morning. I have a room there. I was there all night. When I left, the game broke. I went to Commerce.
Money transfer.
Right until now, you came back. 12 hours straight. I haven't slept.
and you know what happened in there, remember?
Yeah, with Jonas's pocket 8. 4-8.
Yeah, and you know, Rendell and Molina, these no Shank out there. And Shank is himself. Yes, I'm young. He's from Shank.
Man, it's also what's going on there.
Shank is so I can see. I made the building, so I can put my own store there. Then when I decided to sell my store, I sold that to the whole.
I can win one. No high, nothing, are you?
What is he not? Is he talking?
Mike.
I swear he never should. Mike, for days straight. No, he doesn't stop. I played full poker with him for 3 nights in a row, and for 3 straight nights he's been talking.
Wired differently than everybody else.
And no drugs. No drugs, natural.
Some scam shit.
Mike, let's play freeze out 20,000 for like 4 days straight. See who lasts.
I can't last it.
I met the guy who holds the record for most consecutive
9 days or 7 days.
7 days straight he played at the casino, only sleeping on the table.
He only slept on the table like 15 minutes.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
He broke his own record in 5 days.
17 hours.
Where he was?
Converse, yeah.
47 hours
Chinese
one
guy.
time. Me,
He was playing
Ali,
he was playing the yellow.
Ali,
the
how
white
many
chip.
hours? 47? Me, Ali, Jonas, and Gordon.
Yeah, four-handed.
Four-handed, 47 hours.
You give me 4 days, you and Jonas.
And listen, you know they went body body. And they asked me, Ali, you don't want to play with us? I said, no, no problem. We all know. Ali would hang with us. So honest, and me. And they said, Ali, you sure you don't want to play with us? I said,
4 days, Ali won like $300. It was only up like, Ali, how much were you up at the end? Like from the beginning, like $300?
I won't. I know what I won't. I don't know how much I won't. One is not just starting.
Bonus was stuck for me.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, I lost 5,000. Jonas gave me $7,000.
Oh, yeah.
And then I beat him with his own money. Why?
He busted him, then paid him back with his own money. It's like,
And I was nibbling. I was so stupid. But
That's pretty bad.
Well, you know I'm good for it. I'm like, hey, Jonas. I know, so I'm like, hey, Jonas, I lost like 5. I'm like,
That's amazing.
Lemon Atbal. Yeah, but he got, in his favor, he's got David.
All right.
and he would do the drums too.
You already may have to go there.
I'm the double jump. I got you back in the game. He's different. I play him different. Because you're both Mexican, you mean play the same. Yeah,
In fact, it was me you called, right?
Yes.
Oh, he was raising. Right? Good race for me.
I have a good one. Go.
We need a king. No, I don't want to do it too bad. You're waving. When you don't understand, they all. I said that's.
Win or Jackie win?
No wonder I didn't catch you. I won't play it.
Good. Take 20 back off.
Oh, I've been an alcoholic since I was 17. No one's surprised.
What's the reason talking? What's this?
That's me.
You're racing 50
No.
blind?
That's my post, my blind. I missed my blind. Big blind.
Lady, what happened? You only one card? I thought you
That was the handicap rules.
Be good if you bought me 2 cards.
Oh, you brought out the glasses? I can never beat you when you got those glasses.
Yeah, I gotta put them back on. Interesting class.
I can never beat you.
I like them.
They give
He
me a
always
special
calls
power.
when I'm bluffing with the stupid ass glasses. Check.
One grande. Check.
One grande?
Or 100. Whatever you want to say.
Just
I
baby.
said that was me.
Oh, that's mine. How's it going? Yeah. Where are you?
Huh?
You on the way over here?
You got that? Oh.
Yeah, got you on the way over here? All right, yeah, I'm over at the way at the back of the end of the TV cable. All right.
Paquito is my friend.
Oh, yeah. Jackpot. Jackpot.
Tengo full house, Paco.
Oh, no. Yes, it is.
Yo tenía el otro 6.
God, give me that. Yeah, so give me that. Be like Tango for house, I'd be like. I know. He did. They both did, but he had a bigger one. He had a money maker.
He gave last week, he brought him this week.
Playoffs. Good cop, bad cop.
Messi has
Oh, is he friends with Francisco?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leo Francisco, the Mexican mafia?
Yeah. We're part of the Mexican mafia. Give me a 3 and 9 bet. Bet and bet. No 8. No 8. Me fui all in con 12 porque miré Chicha ya parado y me bebía. Si no, no me voy a olvidar.
Which one you like better, this or Mexican?
One pair of them.
But they have a joke in it, right?
And we are back, Dave. And I got to tell you, both of us went out there and looked around a little bit. Boy, $8,000 pot.
Yeah,
Gore
actually,
and Jesus. My goodness.
actually looking at it, I was just talking to Gore for a second to confirm it, and it looks like it was actually about a $10,000 pot when it was all said and done. Wow.
Two pairs.
pair.
Unbelievable. Just crazy.
Wow, if you're willing to gamble, you know, this game is for you. But you've got to be willing to gamble. I'd love to get another chip count. Hopefully we can. I'm not sure exactly how much Jesus has in front of him and Mike has in front of him.
300 by multi.
But Jesus obviously has much less. He did have about $4,000 though when that big pot took place. And
So Gore's got to have somewhere around 10,000 in front of him now, right?
well, I think he has 4 stacks of hundreds, and each stack representing about $2,000.
Right.
So yeah, he's obviously got some money.
But the third one is coming. Those big ones, there's $1,000, no riba, everybody even.
You know, and you can't be afraid to gamble. If you're going to play, if you choose to play in a game like this, you know, you and I were discussing what's the best strategy for this. If you're going to play in a game like this, you've got to be able to gamble. Because otherwise you're going to get bluffed off hand after hand after hand unless you have the absolute nuts. If you're waiting around for the nuts all night, hey, go play a different game.
Oh, this one was limped around. 5-5 deuce.
Mr. Kelsey, how's it going?
And Jesus is going to bet here with ace high.
Thought you were going away this weekend.
And it looks like Mike made a call. The turn is a 9, and it goes check, check, and the river's an ace. And now Jesus is going to bet here on the ace. And this is going to be a chop pot here. If Mike calls, it's going to be a chop pot.
Yeah, I'm playing with her now. He's coming over. I'll be on this game probably.
Fives and aces with a 9, chop it up.
And it makes you wonder, is a player like Dr. Beebe, is he comfortable in a game like this? A player like Paco, two guys that seem to really play a little more passive, even though Dr. Beebe's really mixed it up tonight. But they both play a little more passively and kind of wait for the goods.
Well, there's Donna. She's going to do a chip count for us, so we'll get that information in here.
Yeah, I'm really wondering, Dr. Beebe was able to bluff a little earlier, but is he comfortable playing under these conditions? We saw him earlier folding ace-queen suited.
We'll do a $225 pre-flop raise.
Hey, no, I'm not faulting it, but at the same time, I'm wondering how many hands Dr. Beebe is playing in a game like this. Though I'm sure the game has settled down a little bit after that big pot.
Mike has got pocket 9s in seat 5. And it looks like Jesus limped in with Jack 4 and Mike raised to 80 with pocket 9s. And Jesus is going to make the call.
Well, he's got 4 jacks. Well, 4 jack. Same difference. Huh?
So it's about $160 pot to the flop.
Uh-oh, he's got a piece of it.
Oh boy, 10-4-5. Mike is bet 250. Jesus is going to get away from it.
And show. Now, I got to tell you, Jack 4 offsuit, it's got to be one of my least favorite hands in all of poker.
Well, any type of combination of, say, high, low, offsuit, I'm not even talking about extremely high, like a 10-4 and 9-4. Mid, low,
I mean, at least king 4 in a
unconnecting.
heads-up game, maybe my king is good enough.
Yeah.
My king high is good.
Yeah.
But Jack 4, it's like, what am I trying to hit here?
Yeah.
And one thing we promised you when the webcast started, we promised you a roller coaster of a night for Jesus and the rest of them, and we're getting it.
Absolute mayhem. Looks like Jesus has made a big raise here again, seat 4. He's got 6-9 offsuit. And he's raised to 200. And Gore has called with a queen-jack offsuit. So it's a $400 pot. The flop is a 5-7-5. Gore checks. And Jesus checks right behind him.
Wow.
The turn is an 8. And that actually gives Jesus a straight. And the river's a 3. He checked the straight. He made a straight on the turn. He checked it. And he's checked it again? Am I looking at it correct? He's made a straight, right?
Yes, he's made a straight. He doesn't know it.
Yeah, I know. I was surprised.
Wow.
Maybe he doesn't realize it.
Well, he didn't put a bet in on the river. Oh, man. And did Mike... Oh, Gord can't be happy about that. I think that Jesus was going to muck the hand, and he showed Mike the cards up. And that was a $400 pot, Dave. That's something that you kind of see in Omaha, and some people doesn't recognize that they have a low.
He did not see the straight.
Yeah.
And he was going to muck the hand, and Mike in seat 5 said, "Don't muck it. You got a straight." And that's kind of a no-no. You just don't. You just let the one player to a hand. But you see Gore there. I mean, he's there to gamble a little bit. He calls a $200 pre-flop raise with Queen Jack offsuit.
Well, if the raises mean absolutely nothing, maybe he thinks that Queen Jack is good.
And he's right. But I guess you really got to be fearless in the sense of you're not scared of losing $200 here or there.
We see this one is limped around 4 ways. It's an $80 pot. We're going to see a flop. King, Jack, 8.
There's a queen 10 out there. It's got an open. Ollie's got an open-ended straight draw.
Gore's got jack 9. Ali's going to check. Gore's going to throw in a bet here. See how much that is. Paco calls with king 4. It's a $40 bet.
He has top pair.
So Gore bets 40, Paco calls, and Ali calls. The turn was a deuce, and I think it went check, check, and the river's a 5.
And Paco's going to take this down.
Paco's going to take it down, yeah. Well, there again, Dave. Now, it gets checked to you on the turn in position, and Paco chose not to bet with the king on the turn. Pretty conservative, huh?
Yeah, well, no, he didn't have much of a kicker, and I think he was a little scared of this kicker thing. But we've seen Paco time and time again playing pretty passively. And look at Mo. Mo has changed. He's like a rock star. He changes between sets. And they say one of the biggest things about playing No Limit is the ability, or any poker game, is the ability to adapt to your players you're playing against. Mo. Oh.
And Mike is straddled here to 40. And Mo has got ace king, it looks like. And he's raised it to 300.
Well, you know, the $150 raise isn't doing anything, so everybody's making the raise a little higher. And what's Paco going to do with the sixes here? Oh, lay it down.
He's going to lay it down. And Mo takes it down.
And that's a $110 pot that Mo takes down. You know? He bets 300 and take down 110. And just a little heads up, we are live at the bike. I am David Tuckman. I am here with Bart Hansen. We are playing $1,000 buy-in, no limit hold'em. Blinds are 5 and 10. The yellow chips on the table are $5 chips. Purple chips are $25. White chips are $100. And the game is crazy, as always.
Absolute mayhem.
Yeah, it's
craziness.
Like Friday night, freaky Friday nights. You know, it's just crazy here every Friday night.
And we actually have a new chip count that we'll get to after this hand. 830 chip count.
Jesus isn't looking.
He says he doesn't look. And he's going to raise.
Well, I wish he would show us at least.
Can't quite see what he has.
Looks like
there.
a 5-4.
Yep, 5-4 offsuit. He's got 5-4 offsuit, and it looks like he raised blind to 90.
And somebody get him another Corona. He looks like he's done with that one.
And Mike's going to make the call there with 8-10 offsuit. So we're looking at a $200 pot. Heads up, 5-4 against 8-10. Ace-8 queen. Mike's got a piece of it. Jesus is checked. And Mike checked right behind him. Check, check.
Mike's going to take it down here.
The river's a jack, and Mike's
Two pairs.
got two pairs. Yeah, he's got eights and jacks.
And just for those beginners at home, it's the best 5 cards made out of 7. So in that case there, Mike has a pair of 8s, a pair of jacks with an ace kicker.
And I think Jesus just asked for more cocktails. Keep them flowing. Keep them rolling.
You know what? One thing I'll give for him, you know, he's not here to. He's obviously not a professional poker player. He's here to have a good time, and he's having a good time. You know, he blows up a little steam on Friday night. He makes his money doing something else, obviously, and you know, he's here to have a good time. And if he blows $3,000 or $4,000, it's no big deal to him.
And he's going to raise from the button here. He's got Jack 10 offsuit. And Mike has called. Mike has called with a suited ace. Barry's in there with 7-6 of diamonds, and BB limped in with 5-8 of hearts. Is he going to call the raise? Looks like the raise was for about $100 pre-flop, $80.
We got a 5-handed here. Is Dr. BB in there?
Yep. So it's a $400 pot to the flop. 5-8-6. Barry's picked up a pair. BB's picked up 2 pairs in seat 7.
Barry's got an open-ended straight draw with a pair.
And he's bet 100. Let's see what BB does here. Barry bet 100, and BB raised it to 800.
Well, Barry's bet is just, I mean, I'm sorry, it's a silly bet. At this table, the $400 pot, he's betting 100. What is that going to do?
And, BB, he's got up and down there.
And I got to tell you, Barry, if he doesn't know Dr. BB has 2 pair here, he has a monster hand. Because he's got a pair with a straight draw. He's got to think, okay, maybe my 2 pair is good, but if my 2 pair is not good, maybe if I get my trips, I'm good. I know if I hit a 9 or a 4, I'm good. But then again, there are 2 clubs out there. A lot of things going through his head.
And actually, BB made it 700 to go.
700, so $600 raise.
Yeah, and the pot was 400 pre-flop. Barry bet 100, so it's 500. So now the pot is 1,200, 700 to call.
So he's certainly not getting the odds to go for a straight. But with a pair,
and he mucks.
Outs, and he mucks it. Wow, nice bet by Dr. BB there. That's a scary board with 8, 6, 5 coordinated. Somebody has a 7, somebody has clubs. And he's going to make somebody pay for it.
Well, we're going to do a quick chip count here, brought to you by Joker Gaming. Seat 1 there, Joe, he's got about $1,000 in front of him. Seat 2, Ali, he's got about $2,300. Gore in seat 3's got about $8,600. Jesus had about $800. I think he's up to about $1,000 now. Mike's got about $2,000 in seat 5. Barry's got about $3,200 in seat 6. Dr. BB's got $3,400 in seat 7. Seat 8's got about $1,700, and Mo has got about $3,500.
Now, obviously, we know that Jesus has been a roller coaster, but the guy who's really been taking a beating is Barry in seat 6. We noticed that about an hour ago, he had $5,600 in chips, and now he's got $3,200 in chips. So he's down about $2,800.
BB's up about $2,000 for the night, but he was up to $4,000 at about 7:30. King Queen offsuit for Mo. I mean, he's going to limp. I was going to say that's about as good as it gets here at this table.
Yeah. And this is the kind of game where you almost have to sit down with a couple of $1,000 that you don't care about.
Yeah.
And play it like it's a tournament. And you can't be afraid to move all in if somebody's got if Jesus or Mike make them play on you.
And Mo's picked up top 2 pairs here. And Gore's got up and down. Gore's up and down. Mo's got King Queen, and Mo checked it. And Gore has bet 375. 75 out of seat 3.
It was an unraised pot, so the pot was only about $100.
Let's see what Mo does here.
Now the pot's $175, and Mo raised it.
Barry called in between with Jack 5, and Mo has check raised Gore to 400 with King Queen.
Now Gore he's clearly going to play this hand differently than he's playing versus Jesus.
And he's going to call, and I'm sure Barry's going to be out of there.
Yeah.
So the pot is about $1,000 right now. King Queen against King 5. Let's see the turn. The turn is an ace. That gives Gore a flush draw. He's got the nut flush draw in 2 pairs. And Mo checks again. Mo checks again, I believe, and Gore bets 400, and Mo smooth calls. $1,800 pot. The river is a 5. Gore's made a full house. 5's full of kings.
Wow.
And Gore's going to bet $1,600. The pot is now $3,400. $1,600 for Mo to call.
Yeah, the ace was a little bit of a killer for Mo. He was scared that maybe when Gore called the $400 bet there, he said, maybe Gore's got ace queen or ace king or something. And the ace is you can see Mo really thinking about it here.
Yep. And Mo's going to lay it down.
Wow.
He's going to lay it down. Wow.
Hey, credit to Mo there.
Yep.
Mo bet when he had the best hand. He called when he had the best hand. And then when he fell behind, he threw it away.
Yep. Check raised the flop with top 2. The ace, again, that's a little bit of an action killer for Gore. I think Gore could have extracted a lot of money if that ace hadn't come on the turn.
Without a doubt.
I mean, hit the 5 on the river. My goodness.
Although I don't know if Gore gets there if the ace doesn't come on the river on the turn. Who knows?
Well, he throws out that bet there because he's got the flush draw now in 2 pairs, and it acts like a scare card to Mo. Like maybe he's got ace king.
Well, you know
maybe
what?
He's made aces up now.
If I've got 2 pair and somebody checks to me, I'm going to assume my 2 pair is probably good.
Yeah.
I don't know if Gore ever thinks he's even behind that hand.
Mike has raised to 150. He's got ace king. Boy, the pre-flop raises, Dave, have just gone exponentially up now in this game. Incredible.
And that was an $1,850 pot that Gore just took down.
And Jesus is called here with Jack 9. So we're looking at a $300 pot.
Gore made a nice bet down the river, just didn't get called.
Oh, look at this. Jack 5-3.
And
looks like Jesus bet right out. And Mike raised, and Jesus has gone all in over the top. And he shows him the jack there, it looks like. And let's listen in as Mo and Gore are talking.
Turn ace club. I have three there and enough flush draws.
Oh, hit a king.
and they're not lying yet. They're telling him exactly what he has. Gore actually said that he turned the nut flush draw. And then the 5 came from the river.
And Barry is reloading to 3,000 more there in seat 6.
Yeah. Likes to have money in front of him.
Well, and that was a really interesting hand, Gore versus Mo there, heads up.
2 pair versus 2 pair. The ace really seemed to scare Mo, though, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's an interesting... I didn't understand why he checked the turn there. He check raised and then he checks it.
Because I was calling it in my head, I said I need the 5 of diamonds.
5-way action here. It's a $100 pot. Ace, king, jack.
Was that flop last time?
Like Paco's in there with an ace rag, suited.
And he's got top pair with the backdoor flush draw.
And it looks like it gets checked around here. The turn's a 5. Let's see if he fires out from early position now. Well, he checks it again, Dave. Wow. And it gets checked around again. And the river is a 7, and Mike's made jacks up now.
And now watch. Mike's going to bet. He's going to put a little bet in there.
He's going to bet 100.
And I guarantee you, Paco's going to call him. I just don't understand the play. Check, check, check until you get there. Then you bet, and I'll pay you off.
Well, I know. He's going to muck.
Okay.
He's going to muck.
I mean, at least this time he didn't pay the guy off like last time he paid him off. But
But Allen pays him off from back position there with pocket 9s.
Oh, God.
Wow.
I mean, I got to be honest. I mean, you know, we do this, obviously, and sometimes we got to be critical of people. And you know what? We've got to face the music because I have to go out there and I see these guys.
Yeah.
But I have no problem being critical against players that are just making mistake after mistake. And when I look at this game, and if I had $1,000 that I have to give to somebody, I'd rather give it to Jesus than to Allen. I got to be honest with you. Allen's game just drives me crazy. He sits there and he just like burns money on the table. There he is. And he's a great guy. I mean, he's a super, super nice guy. You know, I've never seen him really get angry. He never causes a problem. He's always got a smile on his face. You know. But in terms of poker ability, he's just one of those providers. You know.
Well, this pot is limped around 6 ways, $120 pot. Ace, 9, 10, rainbow. No one has an ace. And Jesus there, he's going to bet on the 9. He's betting $50. He's got bottom pair. Mike there, he's sitting there with 8, 9 of diamonds. You know, Jesus is more, you know, he just bets out with anything. And I think Mike called.
Well, Jesus would, you know, if Jesus would learn how to throw away a hand occasionally, like obviously the 10-8 where he lost $4,000 to Gore.
Gore called there. Gore called there with the straight draw, and he makes it on the turn. He makes it on the turn. Gore called with king queen on the flop. He's made the turn. He's made the straight on the turn. He checked the turn, and everyone checked behind him. And now he's going to bet 500 on the river.
He's hoping somebody else got there with something.
No.
And sure enough, both players had a straight draw.
Yep.
But nobody got there.
Gore called there with, I guess, a couple of overcards to the second pair with a gut shot straight draw.
And sure enough, you know, his overcards were good as well. So.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's not a bad straight draw to go for and no limit because nobody can put you on it. You wouldn't have stayed in there with king queen. You had no draw. You know.
Yeah.
Mike, make that 7, you double up, man. Before you go home, bro.
Jesus is going to make it 100. He's got Jack 5 of spades. Ali's got a King Queen suited in the blind in seat 2. And he's probably the only one that's going to call. And he is going to call.
And Gore is just adding to his stack there. He's got 10,000 just in white chips.
And I don't believe Mike is in there. It's Jesus with the Jack 5 in seat 4. And the flop is a 4 Queen 8, 2 diamonds. What a flop for Ali. And he's going to bet 350, top pair, second nut flush draw. And he bets right in. I'm surprised to see that he didn't check and have Jesus fire out, because Jesus really has been firing out if it gets checked to him in position there. And he takes it down.
Yeah, that's about as good a flop as you can get. You got top pair with flush draw. And that's just a huge flop. And there's Donna there. I think she's, I don't know if she's kissing Mo's ear or just talking to him. One of the two. Give you one thing for Mo. He spreads a good game, you know?
Absolutely.
And there she is.
Pot is limped around 5 ways. It's a $100 pot. King, 6 king. Ali's flop trips, and he's going to bet him right out. And, well, you wonder, Dr. BB's the one with ace 6. Guarantee a lot of other people would call here.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't mind the bet there by Ali. I like it.
Yeah.
The problem is the guy who had ace 6 is the wrong guy.
Right.
You know, had Mike had ace 6, I bet you Mike calls, or maybe even raises.
Well, I mean, the other good thing about BB, the thing about his play now is we used to call him kind of tight weak before, and now he bets and he's been bluffing, but he's not going to, I haven't really ever seen him call with an inferior hand.
No.
He's never made any out-of-line calls
and he made a great,
that I remember.
And when he had the 8-5 before, he made a great raise.
Yeah.
You know, Barry threw in that little $100 stop bet, kind of like, I hope this gets through.
Yeah.
And BB said, no, I don't think so. I'm going to raise this.
Mike is going to raise here. He's going to raise to 40.
I think that must be a live straddle. I'm not sure, but I'm going to bet that's a live straddle.
It is a straddle.
Yeah. Mike's known to straddle.
Yep. And we're going to see 4-way action here. Gore didn't raise. I'm surprised out of the small blind there with ace 10. And we got a $160 pot brewing here. 4 ways.
See, now Allen was in a spot, to be honest with you here.
3-3-3.
In late position with King 10 suited, Allen was in a position where he should have raised that. The pot's $40. Let's take it down before the floor.
Now, Gore's, Jesus is betting about the size of the pot. 150 with Queen Jack. Now, if you're Gore here, do you think your hand is good with ace high?
Probably. And I think Gore's going to call. And he does.
So the pot is now $600. The turn is a 7. Ace 10 against Queen Jack. And Jesus has moved all in. And Gore makes a quick call. Quick call. And let's see the river. The river's a 4, and ace high is going to take it down there.
Nice call by Gore there.
Yep.
And that's what I'm talking about in the sense of, if you're going to be successful in a game like this, you got to be able to gamble. You got to go, this guy could have pocket 5s. You know, he might get there and beat me, but
is back for more.
And that is going to be, I think that's his 4th buy-in now.
Is he only buying in 1,000 at a time, huh?
I believe so.
This time he's buying 1,500.
Okay. And the last buy-in he had was, not exactly sure if it was 1,500 or 1,000 last time.
Yeah.
But let's say it was 1,000, that would mean he's into the game for $4,500. If there's any player that can get it all back real quick, it is him, though.
And he's picked up pocket queens now. He's picked up pocket queens from the small blind. And he's raised to 300. And Barry's got ace queen suited. And this is the type of thing where Barry might say he's going to go over the top, or he's going to make a call.
You got to call him with ace queen
Yeah.
suited. You might make over the top with him. I mean, it's just
Oh, deuce, king, 4.
this is the problem with playing ace queen. There's a good chance you have the best hand.
I believe that Jesus checked and Barry moved all in, and Jesus called. He called. And the turn here is a 9 of diamonds. No one has a diamond in their hand. Barry's going to need to spike an ace. And the river is a 10 of diamonds, and Jesus doubles through.
Wow.
A check. Barry moves all in, and Jesus calls.
You know, it's funny here. I was going to say, you know, I mean, I don't know if Barry just got a little bad luck there, or just happened to be the one time Jesus had a real hand. But let's say Jesus had Jack Deuce. He might have played it the same exact way.
Yeah.
And what was a great call by Gore just seconds ago becomes a bad call here by Barry only because Jesus woke up with a real hand.
So Jesus is up to 3,000 now.
Boom. Like that.
Yep.
You know, he doubles up one more time and suddenly he's up for the day.
I was a little surprised that, you know, me sitting in that seat, I might go over the top there with ace queen suited.
Well,
Now, anybody makes it 300 out of the small blind, Dave, I mean, that's crazy. But the good thing about Jesus is as long as he's consistent with his good and his bad hands,
he'll get paid off.
yeah.
If he could start learning when not to bluff, and then he could start learning to get away from hands, that kind of play, you know, he gets paid off.
Yeah.
Which is great. But to be honest with you, I can't really fault Barry because it's Jesus making the bet. I might have raised him to 900.
Yeah.
And then if Jesus goes all in, I call him. I mean, what am I going to, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, now he's raising with ace 5.
He's raised to $100 with ace 6
Ace
offsuit.
6, there you go.
Mike's made the call. Gore's made the call. And Barry's in there. $400 pot to the flop. Ace 3-7. Picked up top pair there. Jesus on the button.
Nobody else has anything.
He's going to bet $300 here.
And look, he's picked up another $300 now.
Yep.
Suddenly, before you know it, he's up to $3,400.
Yep.
Amazing. And Jesus is having a good time. You know, there are a lot of players here at the Best Casino that aren't necessarily the best poker players in the world. And sometimes you see somebody ridiculing somebody else's play like, oh my God, I will never ridicule a guy who's here to have a good time. Have a good time, play. You know what I mean? There's a great guy in the Plaza section, a guy named Tony, who readily admits that he's a lousy poker player and that he donates at least $100,000 a year to everybody else. But he does it with a smile.
Jesus has raised here. It looks like $100. We can't quite see what he has. He raised to 130, Dave. Mike called him with a suited ace. Let's see what Jesus has here. Oh, Mike came over the top of him for 350 with ace 7.
You know what? I don't mind the play. See, that's a good play. You got to start realizing that he had queen deuce.
He had queen deuce and he's going to muck.
You know, that's the kind of play that I like.
Well, that's why we thought that maybe Barry was going to do that.
Yeah.
And Mike did it with ace 7. Now, Mike's got about 2,000 there in front of him.
Yeah.
So.
One thing I'll say is if you start watching Jesus, you can start picking up on the fact that he raised it to 100 with a weak ace, 100 with queen deuce, and then he raised it 300 with queens. So maybe there's some rhyme and reason to how much he raises. You can.
And he goes, wait. He goes, wait. He puts it all in one hand. He goes, dealer, deal. And you get 9.
Oh shit.
And then he takes 500,000
Half
and
a
walks
million?
out.
250,000.
One hand.
250,000.
One hand.
I think Gore's talking about a high card against another player for $500,000. Not him, but what he saw maybe in another card room. I mean, there's some. I think he was talking about one in Vegas. So, I mean, there are some gamblers out there, Dave.
Oh, there are people. I've read Amarillo Slim's book, and he talks about, you know, some people are just action freaks. They just want action. They got to bet on. Stu Younger was like that.
Yeah.
He had to bet on everything, you know. Bet on whether he woke up facing the left side of the room or the right side of the room.
Mo's picked up pocket 10s in the big blind, and he's going to raise. He makes it 250. And at this table, Dave, I like that size of that raise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, $100 raise doesn't mean anything.
Now, is Jesus going to call here with the ace rag offsuit?
He might.
No.
Good for him. And look at it. Before you know it, Jesus is back to $3,500.
Mike mocks Dr. BB. Mike's Mo's going to take it down. Now, Mo actually really hasn't moved here much at all. At 6:30, he was at 3,600. At 8:30, he was at 3,500.
Now, was that before the big King, Queen, King 5 hand?
And that was, so he lost probably 1,000. So he's down probably 2,500 now.
Yeah.
He's at 2,500, you're right.
I have to sleep on my stomach.
Mike, the drive room, it's not you, right?
Not the pan nine. I got poker.
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, remember I told you, I said somebody beat you up with my friend. He's that guy. He went to Commerce, lost 35 games for 105 and went home. So then dropped the rest of the 6 days.
And we get followed by 2+2. There's a thread. If you want to follow it, you can go to www.2plus2.com. Click on the poker. Click on the
Forums.
WP Tour.
Forums, and then Tournament Poker and World Poker Tour and other televised tournaments.
There you go.
Now, Jesus brought this hand in for a raise.
He's got a real hand here.
He's got Queen Jack suited. He made it 105 to go, and Gore's going to call here with a King Deuce suited. Gore's out of position, and we're heads up. King Deuce against Queen Jack. Well, there's a Queen.
Yeah.
Queen 310.
Now, this is different than the ace. I don't think he's going to call him down with King High.
$210 pot? No, he doesn't. Gore just mucks.
Gore's using his reading abilities against this guy.
And he shows him the fact that he's got a Queen.
You know, Gore wants to play hands versus this guy because he knows that he can outplay him.
Yep.
We got a little bit of short table here.
No, it's not there. Yeah, go in this one.
And I got to like the quote from Russ McGinley here on 2+2. He says, I find that poker is extremely easy when you can see all the cards. Yeah, I agree. I wish I could play from this room. It'd be great. I might win once in a while.
Mike is going to straddle here from seat 5, as usual. Wow, look at Paco.
Paco's got...
Jack 7 suited.
Wow. He's been pretty patient, and now he comes in with Jack 7 suited, huh?
And Jesus has raised in the big blind with... He's going to make it 170 to go. He's got Jack 4. And Mike is going to call. He's dominated with 4-5 offsuit. Mo is out of the hand. Paco's in there with Jack 7, but now he mucks. So we're heads up. Jack 4 against 4-5. $350 pot to the flop. 8-10 Queen.
Well, Jesus has got a draw. He's got a gut shot draw. And he's got the best hand.
Look at
Jack
this.
high.
Mike just mucks. Jesus didn't even need to put any money in there.
And Mike only laughs. He looks like a Jack 4. What was I doing? Jeez. Another quote here on 2+2 is very interesting. Somebody says, you know, I could play in this game. I'm serious, and I'm not even that good. I would challenge anybody. This is not, even though the game and the action is great, the game is not easy to play in. Because if you sit down in this game, you really have to have no regard for money. You have to be able to call a $200 raise or a $300 raise with even a somewhat marginal holding. Otherwise, you're not going to play a hand ever unless you get lucky and you pick up aces and kings and queens.
Look at Jesus. I think he's waiting to raise here again. No, he's just going to limp in. He's got Queen 5 suited. We're going to see three-way action. $60 pot to the flop.
Flop 2 pair.
5 Queen 4. Yep, he's got top 2 pairs. It's all diamonds, and he checks it.
Oh, wow.
And the turn is another diamond, and now BB has got a flush.
And BB doesn't have much of a flush here, though. He's got a 9 of diamonds.
And it gets checked to him again, and now he's going to bet.
Oh, yeah, why not?
It's like he bet about $100. And now the question is, can Jesus get away from Queen 5 here?
Right,
he's going to call. And Mike calls. Mike calls with 4-10. He's got 2 pairs. And the river is an ace of diamonds. And, of course, BB's 9 of diamonds is going to play.
And there's a nice. I mean, if you're BB here, you put a nice little value bet in there.
No, he just checked it down, and his hand is good.
Two pair.
Because you figure he's almost got the nuts there. Anybody with a king of diamonds is going to bet.
Yeah, it's
only
true.
the jack of diamonds can beat him.
Right. No, I think it's definitely a missed value bet in there.
Because he might not get called by both players, but he might get called by one, thinking they get a chop pot.
Well, especially.
Jesus.
Well, I was going to say, especially if they both called on the turn. Now, maybe they were trying to hit their full house, but now a fifth diamond comes on the river. Maybe it's less likely that someone holds a diamond in their hand.
Right, they think maybe I can get a chop pot out of it.
And, maybe even BB tries to overbet the river a little bit there. Thinking, again, pretty advanced thinking he's trying to pull off a chop pot.
Yeah.
Stealing a chop pot. Barry's got pocket queens in the big blind. And Jesus, if he comes in for a big raise.
And he did.
Yeah. And Mike calls, so now you got to think Barry's going to $70 raise. You got to think Barry's going to re-raise here with queens.
Yeah, I think so. Unless he wants to trap both of them. It's dangerous trapping a player because he could have anything. He could have Jack 4.
It's
5,
not like
6.
Queens isn't not vulnerable to overpair.
It's not the overcards I'm scared of. I'm more scared of the undercards that I can't see when you're playing with a guy like Jesus.
Looks like Barry made it 300 to go and both players mucked.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you prefer to play a game like this where you can literally turn $2,000 into $10,000? Or do you prefer to play a game that's more, say, tight passive, where you might only make 20 or 30% on your money, but it's a lot less risk?
Again, I guess it really depends on where you're going, what your bankroll is. Grinding it out, as we do, I guess, Dave, as professional poker players, we both have bankrolls, but we don't have extraordinarily big bankrolls, obviously. We probably would prefer the game with less variance and more overall win percentage. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, generally. I don't mind. Seat 4 raises $100 there. He's got Queen 3. I agree with you to a point. I guess in this game, though, I think you can risk $2,000 or $2,500 and go for that big score and see if you can double up or triple up a couple times. See if you can win $6 or $7 grand, and then take it and go.
King Jack 8, Dr. BB, he called that raise, and he's got two pairs. And Mike has got an open-ended straight down. Jesus bet $250. Mike called, and what does Dr. BB do now? Does he check raise?
Oh, he's got to. Has to.
And let's see how much Mike he's going to check raise to. He's check raising to 1,000 straight.
So the pot is now about $1,800.
And Mike's got an open-ended straight draw.
And it's $750 to call. The pot is $1,800. And Jesus is quickly mucks. Mike's got to think about it. Do I want to go for my straight draw or not?
BB check raising to 1,000.
There they are. Those are the $100 chips.
Mike mucks.
Wow, Mike mucks it. I'm surprised Mike mucked that. I got to be honest with you. I know you put Dr. BB on at least two pair.
He shows it. He shows it.
You put him on a minimum of two pair. But with no flush draw out there, I'm surprised he didn't go for it. I mean, it's only $750 to win an $1,800 pot.
Well, you got to think, though, he's going to get bet off on the turn. He's really doing that to see one card. Now, the chances of hitting that open-ended straight draw on the turn is about 1 in 5 or 1 in 5.5. Right?
Unless he figures he doesn't have enough money in as the implied odds. He only had about $2,000.
Yep.
Maybe the implied odds aren't there.
Yeah. And he was short chipped for this table.
I mean, I personally would fold also. It's just an open-ended straight draw. I'm just surprised Mike did.
Yeah.
And look at Dr. BB. He finally calls with Jack 8, and he hits two pair.
Yeah.
I mean, the two times he's called with kind of questionable hands, Jack 8 and 8-5, both times he hits two pair. It's almost like he can see the deck.
Well, I got to say that he almost has more command over this table than anyone on the entire table.
Well, it helps that he keeps flopping two pair.
But, I mean, every time he bets, people fold. And look at this. Jesus is raised again. He's got ace-9 suited. He's going to make it 95. Now, Barry looks like he's got ace-10. Now, is this good enough to re-raise? No, he just smooth calls on the button.
Yeah.
And he's dominated.
Now, he's got position on him, so.
Yeah. Heads up. Ace-9 against ace-10. King Jack 7, but Jesus has flopped the nut flush draw. Barry's got a gut shot to the queen.
Yeah, this is interesting here. And the problem with Barry, the way he plays it versus Jesus is, He's doing a lot of calling against Jesus.
He's going to bet 200 here. Jesus is betting 200.
I don't think Barry is quite... I don't think he's comfortable playing against Jesus.
He's going to raise here, Dave. He's going to make it 600 more, I believe.
He does have the best hand.
400 more, and Jesus calls. So we're going to see a turn. The turn is at 3. Barry's hand is still good.
Well, that 3 really helps his hand now because now the 10 will play.
Jesus checks. Barry bets. Looks like 500 here. So again, Dave, the pot is now somewhere around $2,000. 500 for Jesus to call. And he calls, and the river is an ace. So both players have top pair. Barry's kicker plays.
And this might be a time where Barry just doesn't even bother betting. He doesn't think he needs to anymore.
And the action is on Jesus, I believe. $2,400 pot. Trying to figure out if he's checked already or not. He has. And Barry's going to bet another 500. And look at this. Jesus quickly calls, and Barry takes down about a $3,400 pot.
Wow.
That kicker's going to play.
Yep, they both have aces with a king, a jack. And Barry's got a 10.
Look at Mark there peering over. He was in seat 5 earlier.
Yeah, Mark went broke earlier, and he's trying to get back in the game.
Yeah. Dave, I got to tell you, I got to lobby Mo to try to get this game on here more often, don't you think? It's crazy.
This is, wow.
Unbelievable.
Well, the one thing that'll be fun, at least, is I'll tell you one thing for sure. If the nights that you and Shirley are in here, I'm going to do my best to get in the game.
You would play? You'd be comfortable sitting down with 3,000 in this game?
Like I said, I'd probably buy in for 2 or 2,500.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Again, it's funny if people say, "Do you think it's an unfair advantage for us to go and play the game?" Well, everyone has access.
Everybody has the same advantage we have.
No.
Now, obviously, I wouldn't do it like you said. It's not
Right
ethical
after
for
the
us to do
game.
it
Right
that night.
Right.
But everybody's got the same access that we have.
Right. Oh. Thank you, Donna. We got a new chip count. We'll go through that after this hand.
You can add about 3,000 to Barry's stack.
You know, it looks like Mo reloaded, too, because he's got 8,000 now. I think he's bought more.
Yeah.
He's trying to cover Barry, I think, is what it is. He likes...
They want to cover Barry, and they want to... And Gore's got a lot of money on the table, too, now.
Yeah. Looks like the pot was actually limped around. Deuce 5, 9, 3 flush.
BB's got the only diamond.
And Mo's going to make a bet here with Jack 5. He's got second pair. BB's going to lay it down.
Now there, Mo was playing his opponents. You see who's in the pot there? Dr. BB and Paco.
Boy,
And
Paco's played tighter than BB, hasn't he? My goodness.
Well, and Mo was playing the players. He's sitting there going, okay, if these guys don't have a big diamond or a 9, I'm going to win the pot.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that Jesus and Gore and Mo and Mike weren't in the pot made it much easier for Mo to bet.
Just walked around the pool with my hand.
Jesus has got a king 10 offsuit. He limps.
It's interesting. It's almost like a six-handed game because I haven't heard much from Alan. You don't hear much from Ollie. You don't hear much from Paco.
I offered him $100 for him. Or if anyone wants to stay, I'll put $1,000 to stay.
5-way action. $100 pot. Queen 9, 7, 2 spades. No one has a queen. No one has a 9. Barry's got bottom pair. Looks like Jesus bet here, though. He's got king 10. He's got a gut shot straight draw. And I don't think he's going to get a call there, Dave. He's going to take it down.
The best cards you've seen in it?
It's one thing when I read Barry Greenstein's new book, he said most of the best players in the world have no regard for money. And obviously that's easier said than done. You know, it's much easier to say, oh, I don't care if I lose or win or whatever. But when you take $3,000 or $4,000 and you sit down and you go, okay, I can lose this all on one hand, you know, can you actually push the 3,000 in? That's the test of it. Gore's going to take his $6,000 profit and leave, huh? I'm really surprised Gore's leaving.
I was going to say the exact same thing that you did to Dave. I don't know why you would leave at this point.
Well, unless, I mean, yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, game selection obviously is one of the biggest criteria to use when you're playing. What better game could you possibly be in than a game like this if this is his game?
Well, generally,
a large no-limit game.
Generally, you want to leave if either you're not feeling good, you've lost, or the game has changed, or maybe the person who's giving the most action doesn't have as many chips in his hands.
Mike's flopped a straight, seat 5.
Wow. Does anybody have an 8 here?
And Jesus bet 100, and Mike made a mini raise to 200. And Jesus has got a gut shot. If a 9 comes, he's got the nut straight, a higher end. Boy, what a hand this will be if a 9 comes here. Jesus is going to make the call. Turn is a deuce of spades.
Jesus does not have a spade in his hand, so.
Jesus checks. Mike's going to put a bet in there.
That's a good bet by Mike
Jesus
there. He
Mike.
can't slow play it anymore, not with the third spade out there.
No. Rabbit Cam showed a 4. Jesus didn't get there.
But to be honest with you, I don't think the game has changed at all. I mean, Jesus still has 3,000 chips in front of him. Mike's got 2,500 chips in front of him. Paco's got a couple of thousand chips in front of him. Why are you leaving this game? Doesn't make any sense to me.
No. Even if Jesus, even if he goes down to Feld, he's shown the fact that he's just going to rebuy anyway.
For another
so it's
$1,500, right.
It's like he's got 10,000 in front of him, even though he only has 2,000 now.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Most good poker players, they stand by the mantra of one hand at a time. I'm not influenced by what happened before, whether I'm up 6,000 or down 6,000. If the game is still good, I'm going to stay there.
Mike has straddled here again. And he's got pocket 5s in the straddle position. And he raises. He's going to make it 150. Dr. Beebe's got ace queen. He's going to make the call. And we're going to see a flop. 3-way action. Flop is a 3, 8, 8. And Mike bets, and it looks like he's going to take it down. And I think he actually moved all in there. Wow. Again, the blinds in this game are 10 and 20. We're doing a $1,000 unrestricted buy-in, no-limit hold'em game. The yellow chips are $5 chips. The purple chips are $25 chips. And the white chips are $100 chips. We usually do this game every single Friday night. We are live at the bike. We stream live cash games every Wednesday through Saturday from 6 to 10 Pacific time. Come on down here in Bell Gardens, California. Join the action. We've got the Legends of Poker WPT tournament going on. And we just opened up a section with about 18 new tables. New plaza level. 3-way action here. Limped around. 10-10 queen. Oh, look at this. Barry has flopped a full house. And Mike, I believe, bet $50. He's got an open-ended straight draw. And Barry smooth calls. So if Mike gets there, he's drawing totally dead. Let's see the turn. Oh, turn is a queen. Well, that's going to kill all of Barry's action. He checks behind Mike. And Mike checks again on the river, and Barry's going to try to put a bet in, but he's not going to get called. Then he shows the queen 10.
Even if I hit my straight, I trip.
You know, it's funny. If I'm Barry there, the propensity that Mike has had to call raises, I might put a value raise. I know it sounds silly sometimes on the flop. You've got the absolute goods, but he could have raised there and trapped Mike later on. You know, Mike bet 50. He could have raised to 150. Mike would have called.
Okay, how are we going to treat this? Is this guy going to play this hand?
No, his knee.
The guy on the button is what. I understand. Is he supposed to be dealt in? Is what I'm asking, because if not, changes all my blinds. And everything. I don't know how Okay, that's all.
Garu?
Big blind.
Yes, sir. I have a big hand, so I'm going to run again. Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Run again.
¿Dónde está Jesús? Yeah, you got lucky on it.
Still Jesus.
What?
You got lucky on it.
How did I get lucky?
You got an option there, man.
Check. No, I hit ace 10. He didn't have anything. He
You
had
had 3 players in.
Yeah, the flush.
a flush draw. He didn't draw.
If I have his hand, you would never see the turn.
And you know what? It's funny. Jesus, oh my goodness, he left the table and he had pocket queens in seat 4. His hand was mucked. Pocket queens on the button. His hand was mucked. Now the funny thing is that he might have saved a lot of money because Barry probably would have called his raise and would have spiked a king on the flop. So he doesn't realize how lucky he is to sit out that hand. Unbelievable. The river is a 3.
Sorry? Pair of 8s, ace high, with a king.
Thank you, senor.
And Barry's going to take it down. Dave, I know that you left the booth momentarily. Boy, the funniest thing just happened. Jesus got up from the table. He was on the button. We saw the fact that he had pocket queens. Didn't get to play them. Barry had a king 9. Probably would have called Jesus's raise, and a king came on the flop. So he doesn't realize how lucky he was.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, you never know. Jesus might have made it like a $300 or $400 to go. So.
Yeah, but you don't think Barry would have called with king 9?
He might have, yeah.
5-way action here, limped around. It's a $100 pot. 6, 8, 9. Mo's got an open-ended straight draw. Barry's got top pair with the ace kicker. And Barry's going to bet 75. Let's see what Mo does here. He smooth calls.
Smooth calls. Now he's in position. I think the button's in. Mike has the button in seat 5.
Yeah, Mo is in position. Turn is a queen. Let's see if Mo can use this position here. $150 bet there by Barry. Mo calls. And the river's a queen. And now Barry's really got to think his hand is good.
Yeah, he definitely thinks his hand's good. He's got to put Mo on like either spades or a straight draw or something. Mo might even have 8-7. I mean, he could have something like that. It's not Mo. I mean, Barry's got to think he's got the best hand here.
And he's betting $200 here into about a $600 pot.
It's a nice bet. I like it. It's a nice value bet. You know, even if Barry had 9-8, he would have gotten counterfeited here. I mean, even if Mo had like 2 pair, 9-8 or something like that, which obviously didn't.
Look at this. Mo makes another nice lay down.
Yeah, easy. Now, as I was going outside for a second, I bumped into Gore, and I just asked him why he was leaving the game.
Yeah.
And apparently his girlfriend, Henry, was tired.
Henry, huh?
Henry, yes. You know, Henry in the Boston hat. Guy always plays this game.
Yeah.
Apparently he was tired and wanted to go home.
Ace-jack offsuit there for Mike. Seat 5. You got to think he's going to raise.
And it's interesting. Somebody's asking, you know, where's Action Mo tonight? You know. And the one thing about Mo is, he adapts his style to the game, and him being an action player in this game is not going to be conducive to winning. He's trying to, adapt to the real action, which is Jesus and Mike.
Mike made it 90 to go. Barry called with 7-9 of clubs. Dr. Beebe's in there in the blind with that hand, Jack 9 of diamonds. But Dr. Beebe, boy, he's dominated here. And we get called in 5 spots. The pot is $450. Mo's got an ace suited, ace 4 suited.
Well, the way Dr. Beebe's been running, the flop will probably come out,
Jack 9.
Jack 9-7, you know?
So $540 pot. 6, 10, 6. 2 spades. Alan's got a flush draw in seat number 3. And Mike bets 300 with just a couple of overcards.
What do you do for Alan here?
Well, now the pot is $850. 300 to call. I don't know if Alan has enough money to say check raise, make a move here, or what.
That's the problem with buying in short in a game like this.
Yeah. I mean, you're at a disadvantage, obviously.
Well, I mean, this is the hand where if you got $2,000, you can probably take it down right now. But Mike might make a crying call because you have no money in there, and he actually has the best hand with ace high.
Well, Alan check calls here. And the turn here is a 10. And I was going to say, maybe the move here for Alan is to bet here regardless of what happens on the turn.
Without a doubt it is. It has to be.
But he doesn't. He checks.
And the worst
and look at this. The board's paired up. Davey makes a call with the flush draw.
You are so bad.
And the river comes ace of spades, and he makes the flush. He called with the flush draw when the board pairs on the turn. And Mike is saying, you're so bad, how do you call? Taking the words right out of her mouth, Dave.
Yeah. Well, I got to be honest, I wouldn't put Mike on a 10 or a 6. There's no way. He raised it for... But to be honest with him, Alan's won 2 pots tonight.
Yeah.
One was the ace-jack when he hit that miracle 10 on the river.
Yeah.
And here, when he got a miracle ace of spades on the river.
Yeah. Now, what I was going to say was, probably the best way to play that if Alan was going to check call the flop is to move on the turn regardless of what comes.
Exactly.
The problem is that the board pairs up, and Mike might be liable to just call there with the ace-jack. It's actually a bad card on the turn for Alan.
Oh, clearly. But, but it's better play than check, call, check, call.
Mm-hmm.
Better than that would have been, let's not give Mike a chance to bluff the pot because I don't have any money.
Yeah.
The pot was, what, $300? And I had king 4 spades?
Yeah.
And I've only got $450? Move all in right away.
Ali's got pocket kings, and he's raised, and Alan has called him with ace 10 of spades. Oh, ace deuce 4.
Ali's not stupid, though. He's not gonna lose a lot of money in this pot.
And it goes check, check. Alan checks top pair, and now Ali bets, thinking his kings are good. He's going to bet 200, and Alan's made aces up. A 10 comes on the turn, and he's raised. And he's made it 500. Why wouldn't you smooth call there on the turn?
I don't.
A 10 in diamonds comes on the turn, and again, I'm never a proponent of slow playing, but
there's no card out there that can hurt you.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, obviously the king could have hurt him, but it was ace 4, deuce 10. There's no flush draw. There's no real straight draw. I mean, there's a wheel draw, but you're not really worried about that. I don't know. I mean, I've seen Alan play well. I've seen him play bad, and tonight's just not his night. He's getting lucky a couple times, but.
And Ali's fed up, and he's out of here.
Yeah. He hates the dealer, exactly.
Yeah,
it's always the dealer's fault.
Yeah, I just never understand people who get mad at the dealer for things. That doesn't make any sense to me.
But. You never see it. You never see a real good poker player, a top player, get mad at the dealer. It shows weakness. It is weak, to be honest with you. I think it's just you're blaming somebody else for your mistakes.
4-way action.
The fact of the matter is, he got his money out the best of it. He just got outdrawn. No big deal.
7 deuce jack. Mike's picked up a flush draw. Jesus has got top pair.
Mo's got top pair, the better kicker.
Yep, and Mo's going to bet 75, and Jesus could get caught up here. I think Jesus smooth called there. And Mike smooth called the flush draw.
How about the 4 diamonds comes out? Then what happens?
My goodness. It's the ace of diamonds. So Mike's made the flush.
Mike's actually got an open-ended flush. Not an open-ended, I'm sorry. He has a straight flush draw.
And Mike bets 150, and Mo check calls. And boy, Jesus is in trouble, but he's going to call too. My goodness.
Actually, yeah, Mo, they're both drawing dead.
Yep.
To Mike's hand here.
Mike has got the made flush.
No matter what comes on the board.
And the river is a 9.
605.
And Mike looks like he's moving all in here for 605.
And this is a little, and look at Mike. Mike already tips Greg. That's either a really big bluff or a really big tell. What do you think? He's already thrown him the chip.
Well, now the thing is that if Mo doesn't call, does Jesus call?
He might get paid off. I can't imagine him getting paid off in both spots, but he might get paid off in one spot.
Dave, the pot's about $12 to $1,300. It's $600 for Mo to call. He doesn't have top pair. He lays it down. Let's see what Jesus does. No, he's going to lay it down.
And Mike doesn't get paid. I tell you, for the amount of times Mike bluffs, you'd think he'd get paid off more when he hits his hand.
Yep.
You didn't call me with 2 pair. You had 2. You had 2 pair. You didn't call me. You didn't have 2. I had 2. No way.
And one thing, getting back to Gore in terms of leaving early or leaving late, you leave when you want to leave. But most good players, most really winning players, they don't leave when they're ahead because, I don't want to give my money back. When you're in a winning mode and you're playing well and your reads are right there, that's when you should be playing the longer sessions. When you're playing bad, that's when you should get up earlier. Unfortunately, for most players, it's the opposite. When they're playing bad and they're stuck, they stay longer. But when they're up a couple $1,000, they go, okay, I'm going to take it home. One of the things Barry preaches in his book, Barry Greenstein, I'll say again, he goes, hey, when I'm winning, I'll play 20 hours straight. He goes, but if I'm losing, I'll get up after 6 or 7 hours. There's just no point in playing.
10-3-4 here, a couple of spades. I believe Jesus is bet 35 here with Queen 4, and he's going to take it down. Yeah, again, we don't mean to rip anybody personally, but it's true. Alan's made some very, very questionable plays, calls, moves. It's just...
We're gonna tell it like it is,
Yeah.
It's not a personal indictment on anybody. I happen to be friends with most of the people here.
Yeah. And I think that's actually the beauty of this show, because I think that all of the poker shows don't really get into the type of detail and analysis that we do here at Live at the Bike, and they kind of sugarcoat things. Funny thing is, I kind of see now in this season at the WPT, Mike Sexton is starting
to get a little
bit, but before it was never.
Yeah.
Now he says, I might have done that differently.
Right.
Very, very lightly.
I might have done it differently.
Yeah,
I like that.
but
and not to credit ourselves, but I will say one thing. Mike and the rest of those guys, Mike Sexton on the Travel Channel, they don't have to face these guys. When we're done with this broadcast, this webcast at 10 p.m., we have to go out there, and they see us. And when they listen to the archives, they hear what we say.
Well, and also, they get to watch what's happened beforehand and then commentate after the fact. A lot of people don't know that. They think they're doing it right at the time.
Right.
They have a script almost.
Ooh, Alan's got trip 3s here. He flopped.
Yep. And he's bet.
Going to get a chip count in a second or two.
Again, I say that a lot of people don't realize that, David. It's you've got the show on tape.
Right.
They go back and Mike and Vince sitting there at the final tables. They're not doing the commentary.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Of course not.
Yep.
Once in a while, though, I've had a few players come to me afterwards saying, a couple of days later when they've seen it in the archives, and they said, "Oh, why the heck did you yell at me? Why did you not yell? Why did you criticize my play there?" And I try to tell them it's not personal.
Yeah.
I go, I criticize my own play often. I'm probably harder on myself than I am on any other player.
Three players.
We're going to see three-way action here. $60 pot. King, 3, 5.
A couple of diamonds out there. And
Yeah.
2 players have diamond draws.
And Jesus has got a pair and a diamond draw in seat 4.
Alan's in real bad shape.
And Jesus is going to bet.
And Mike's got an open-ended straight draw. Look at that.
He's going to bet 165. Well, is Alan acting out of turn? Mike hasn't. Did Mike say he called? I guess Mike called in between.
Yeah, apparently.
With a couple of diamonds on board. Very dangerous. And there's a diamond. It's the 8 of diamonds.
Ooh.
And look at this. Jesus checked.
He's going to double check.
Alan has made the bet there with a 9 high flush. He's bet 200. Jesus has got a jack high flush. And I still don't understand why Mike is in there, chasing that straight with 2 diamonds on board.
Well, he was at first.
And Jesus is going to check raise all in.
And Alan's going to call.
Yep, Alan's going to call.
And Jesus is going to double up.
Yep. There is no straight flush out there. Alan is drawing dead.
Mike figured he'd take one off. It didn't help, obviously, and he got away.
Yeah. And Dave, I think you were excited there because for a second I bet you thought it was the 7 of diamonds that came on the turn.
I was hoping. I was hoping it was.
Mike isn't stupid though. Again, it's
yeah, well, if you get a bet and an all-in.
Yeah.
And one thing you can see, I always try to harp on the fact that you should focus on the players and their habits and their betting patterns. Betting patterns to me are the biggest tells, more than eyes or like that. Those are tells also, but betting patterns. And you look at Jesus there. We've seen him time and time again. He checks his set of 3s. He checks his flush. He likes to check raise when he has a really big hand. He bets when he's got a okay hand or nothing hand.
We got a new player there in seat 2. His name is Pat.
And seat 1, who's in seat 1?
Seat number 1 is Brian.
He's got an interesting hairdo there. It's the matted down look, I think. It's coming back.
Pot was limped around. 3, 10, king, 2 spades. Seat number 2 is in the hand, and he looks like he has either a 9 or a 10. He does
look
have a 10.
Look at the holdings of these guys. 3, 4, 2, 9, 2, 6.
He has Jack 10. Pat's got Jack 10. Somebody bet 150. It's Barry. Barry's betting with a gut shot straight draw.
I'm waiting on a call.
No one bet the flop.
It's amazing. You look at this flop. You look at these guys on the board. The reason you play 3-4 sometimes is because you figure your cards are alive, and everybody else is the same garbage you have.
And Barry, he takes it down there with a semi-bluff.
Thanks to Donna for another chip count here.
The new players there, seat 1 bought in for about 1,100. Seat 2 bought in for about 2,300. Seat number 3, Alan, he's got about... Well, he just lost that flush, so he's down probably to maybe 1,000. Jesus is back up to about 1,500. Mike has got about 1,300. Barry's got about 6,700. Seat 7's got about 3,700. Paco's got 1,500. And we have Moas at 3,500, which doesn't make a lot of sense because did he take money off the table?
No,
he's got much
6,000 there right there.
Yeah, he's got 8,500, I think.
Yeah.
No, I'm not scolding you. I just don't want you to 3-bet it and kick your player out.
I thought maybe for a second Mo took his money off the table when Gore left, but no, he still got it.
Wow, a raise here by, I believe it was a raise by Allen with 7-8 of diamonds. And Mike has re-raised to 320. It was an $80 raise.
Nice raise there.
Mike came over the top with ace-king.
Nice raise by Mike here.
Yeah.
Put some pressure on everybody. I don't think he's going to get called by... Was he going to get called by Jesus?
No, Jesus mucked the hand.
There you go. Take it down. And that's about a $200 pot that he takes down.
Looks like we got a lot of fresh posters up on 2+2, Dave. We got about 20 minutes left in the show. You can go to 2plus2.com. Click on forums, click on Tournament Poker, World Poker Tour, and other televised events. And we're right there.
We do respond. We do read that. Kind of a way for us to interact with our audience.
Mo is raised here under the gun. He has ace-king. He's made at 100 to go. Jesus is called with the 9-10 offsuit, seat 4. And we're heads up. Well, Mo is out of position. We're going to see a flop. Ooh, 8 deuce jack. 9-10's got an open-ended straight draw.
Yep. And right now, actually, even though Mo is ahead, Jesus is the favorite.
And it goes check, check. And a jack comes on the turn. It goes check, check again, and a 3 comes on the river. And it gets checked down. And Jesus didn't really use his position there.
Not at all, not at all.
Yep. And you're right, no pair against no pair, but the other, Jesus has got a draw.
Well, Jesus said, on the flop, Jesus has the outs of a queen, a 7, a 9 or a 10.
Yeah.
So he's actually a favorite, but not this time.
Were you a little surprised that Mo didn't bet there on the turn when the jack paired?
I don't think so. I think he was. He figured he was ahead, and there's no reason to bet.
So,
yeah. I think he looks at it that way. He'd almost rather have Jesus bluff at it.
Yeah.
I think if Jesus bets on the turn, though, Mo calls.
With the ace king?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong, but.
Oh, it's just interesting because usually you see Mo play pretty aggressively.
Yeah. Well, you see, a player like Jesus really makes people, change their game up.
5-way action here. Oh, Paco, look at that. He's got ace-5 of hearts. Got to think he's going to put some money in at some point tonight, Dave. Jesus is going to bet on a gut shot straight draw. Let's see if Paco check raises. He just calls. Wow.
I'm not sure why he's playing the game. Why are you in the game? I mean, it's...
And Mike is in there with a 4-7. The turn is a deuce. Check, 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 it looks like. And the river's a heart, and Paco's made the nut flush. Now you got to think he's going to bet, right? He checked it. He checked the nut flush, Dave. He didn't put any money in on the river. I guess he was trying to check to induce a bluff?
I guess so.
Unbelievable. Wow. Again, it's just an interesting mix of players we have at the table. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand the play. I mean, the check on the river wasn't terrible with Jesus and Mike in the hand because there's always likely that Mike will throw $100 in the pot and he can check raise them. But the check call on the flop and the check on the turn, and then, I mean, he's not building himself a pot.
Mo's got a nice little suited connector there in the small
we saw
blind.
earlier Paco flopped a set of aces earlier on when he had his...
Oh, yeah.
And maybe he just thinks that's the way to win money in this game. Flop the nuts and win with the nuts.
Slow it down.
Flop the nuts and just let everybody else bet for you.
6-way action here. $120 pot. 8-8 jack.
And Mo has an open-ended straight draw here.
Look at this. Mike has an 8. Look at Mike playing 8-3 offsuit. Wow.
Yeah.
Allen bets 50 with the jack. Jesus calls with jack 9. Mike smooth calls with 8-3.
Wow.
And Mo's going to call.
Oh, why not? Of course Mo's going to call here with all
Mike
that
has
action
got
there.
the trip 8s here. Let's see the turn. Turn is a queen. Mo's made the straight. Oh, boy.
Bingo.
How is he going to play it? Look at him chomp down. Allen bets 100. And Mike, Jesus calls, Mike raises to 300 now. And what does Mo do now?
And, Mo's going to raise it up.
He's going to make it 1,000 to go.
And Mike's got nobody to blame but himself. If he raises on the flop, Mo is gone. And he takes down this pot.
Yep.
He might even get a call from Jesus, who has top pair.
Oh, Jesus is out of there now.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Had he raised on the flop. Allen might even call with jack 10. But now Mike's in there with a hand that he can't beat unless he catches a 3, a jack, or a queen come on the river.
I'm trying to figure out what the size of the pot is here. Oh, my goodness. Is he going to make the call?
Apparently.
He's going to make the call. We're looking at about a $3,000 pot here again. About $2,700.
Yep.
And he's going to need to catch that full house. The river is an ace of hearts. And Mo's going to make a value bet here, of course, on the river.
He knows he has an 8. Now, maybe he's slightly scared of ace 8.
He bets 800, and Mike quickly calls, and Mo takes down a big pot.
Now, Mike only had a couple $100 there. which is why Mo bet it, I think.
Yeah.
Because if Mike had like $5,000 or $6,000 in front of him, the ace has got to be somewhat scary because people will play ace 8.
Yeah.
If you put a guy on an 8, you go okay. And
I just can't believe that Mike played that hand that way.
yeah, he played that. He played that really bad, actually. I mean,
Yeah.
he check called, left the straight draw in there. The straight gets there, and then he pays him off.
Yeah.
And the weird thing I was pointing out before, and I'll say it again, had he raised on the flop, there's a good chance he might have got a call from Alan or Jesus or both of them
Right.
with top pair.
Right.
But once the queen comes out there, they both look at it and go, I have second pair. Who cares? I'm
Right.
done.
Right. Do you think Mo would have called, though, with the open-ended straight draw?
Not if he puts in a raise. Not if he puts in a raise of $400. If
Yeah.
they make it 100, and he makes it 400 to go.
Yeah.
No way. Look at this. We are joined by the lovely Shirley Rosario tonight.
And Steve Badger.
Oh. The myth, the legend.
Are you guys still in the Omaha tournament? Mo's going to make it 1:30 to go here with Ace King of Diamonds.
Ace King Diamonds, not bad. Well, Shirley, come on in so you can get us on, all of us here. This game has been amazing.
This is the most amazing game we've seen.
Unreal. And there it is. There she is.
So Ace King of Diamonds, Alan's made a call with pocket 4s. It looks. Oh, yep. So we're heads up. Ace King against pocket 4s. Ooh, Ace 8-5. Close for Alan.
Close but no cigar.
Yep.
This is going to be pretty easy. A bet, a fold.
Yep.
Move on. Next hand.
Oh, we were talking about how we hadn't seen a lot of play by Mo, but like you said, he changed gears. He's done when he's done. He's a great player.
And you know what? In the end of it all, he's probably up $3,000 or $4,000 tonight.
What a great lesson as to why you would want to raise with trips on a coordinated board, especially in a big game like this where Mike just blew about $2,500 of his stack.
He played it like with the 8-3. He played it like he already had the full house.
Yeah, unbelievable.
So how many tables is the Omaha tournament down to? Okay. For those of you at home, we had 167 entries tonight in the Omaha tournament. And they're down. They're paid 18 spots. And unfortunately, Shirley got knocked out 23rd.
Oh.
So close.
6-4 deuce here, a couple of clubs. Dr. Beebe, he's got top 2 pairs again. And I think someone's betting in here again.
Jesus, sure.
He bet 100.
With bottom pair and a gut shot straight draw here.
And Beebe makes it 300 to go. Thought he might actually raise it a little bit more with that board.
He might have raised somebody else a little more, but he might, with Jesus in there, he goes, maybe I want to keep this guy in there. He might have nothing.
Look at this. Jesus quickly mocks.
Yeah.
Beebe takes down another one. Of course, Shirley's website, pokerbabes.com. Steve Badger has a great website called playwinningpoker.com. Is that correct? Yes.
Playwinningpoker.com.
Yep.
Wow.
So you guys can check that out at home.
Very cool.
That's actually where I kind of first learned how to play Omaha, from reading that site. Get you a little detail about how to play the game, some starting hand requirements,
right,
stuff like that.
I'm going to check it out.
Yeah.
I'd actually never heard of it until today. Poker Babes, though, I frequent that site. Every time I check it out, my wife thinks I'm checking out porn, too.
Really?
She goes, what do you look at? Well, she goes, Poker Babes, what's that? And I go, no, it's totally legit. It's a real site. It's good. She goes, yeah, sure.
Jesus has made it $100 here. He's got Queen Jack suited, seat 4. Now Barry, boy, he might call with that gap suited connector, 6-8 of clubs.
He might. He's thinking about it.
He is going to make the call. And the thing about Paco, he's been limping in, but when's the last time we've seen a limped pot? He's got a muck to any raise. I mean, he should with Queen Jack off suit, but... And we're going to see 5-way action. It's a $100 pot. Ace 10-10. It's 4 ways in here. Jesus has got a gut shot straight draw.
300. Mo's firing at it.
Mo's going to fire at it. He's going to see if anyone's there.
He's taking it down. Nobody's got anything here. Jesus has got a gut shot straight draw and a backdoor flush draw.
Well, look at that. Mo bets 300 to win 500, and he shows the bluff.
You know what? I think that's like the first or second time Mo was bluffed the entire night, and he just picks the right time.
Yeah.
It's like it's almost like a sixth sense, you know, he has.
He's great
It's
poker instincts, right?
pure poker instincts.
Yep.
And you've seen a couple of times, Gore did it earlier tonight. You know, we've been a little critical of his play at times because of some things he does. You know, sometimes he bluffs too. But we saw him call down that guy with ace high. It was great read, great instinct. And there, Mo, great read, great instinct.
Go back and play the video and you see how many times I've left you guys out. Like 42.
I mean, they talk about why Daniel Negreanu is such a great poker player because of his instincts at the tournament tables and at the cash game tables, for that matter. Just some people have got that sense, you know.
Got a lot of hearts out there.
Sounds like Stud High Low Tony's calling a floor man in the background.
There you go.
Well, Alan's got ace 10. The flop comes ace 8 5.
Nobody else has got much of anything.
Alan checks top pair again from the
On the
button.
button.
He's done it 3 times tonight. This is the 4th time. A 7 comes on the turn,
I don't understand the play.
and now he bets.
Right, like when somebody might get there. I don't understand the play.
Why would you give a free card in that spot? It's
I mean, it turns out nobody had a pair, but that could have just as easy. I mean, somebody could have had 8-7 there. He also gives free cards. I mean, if somebody has 6-7, now I don't have to go. Now I don't have to go for my draw because I only have 1 card to go.
I mean, that's when he lost all his money earlier on, Dave. Remember the ace-queen hand from earlier in the night. He didn't bet it. $105 raise there by Jesus. Got King 9. Dr. BB's in there with King Jack. And seat 1's in there with 8-9 of diamonds. We're going to see a flop. $315 pot. 274 Rainbow. And somebody's bet 300. It's Brian. He's making a stone cold bluff here, Dave. We haven't heard much from him. Just sat down to the table. He's bet 300 with 8-9 of diamonds. Maybe he doesn't think anyone caught anything. And he takes it down.
He looks like another victim of Fantastic Sam's. Lord. For some of you at home, just remember we are live at the bike. This is unedited, unrehearsed, completely live. Playing $500 no-limit hold'em. I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hansen. A little refresher there. Mo in seat 9. He is the host. Sometimes we refer to him as the host of the game, and he's the high limit, no limit host here at the Bicycle Casino. And he does work for the casino, and he hosts the game. He often will call people and basically bring the game here.
Right. Kind of like what Yosh does with our big mixed games.
Yeah, Yosh Nakano does the white chip game.
Yep.
And he makes sure that we get this kind of action here every Friday night and Saturday night, and actually pretty much 7 days a week.
$105 raise here. And we're heads up here. Deuce 6 of clubs against King Queen suited. Look at the flop for Jesus. Ace Jack Deuce, 2 clubs. It's got a pair and a flush draw.
Yeah, he's well ahead of Barry here. Barry needs to hit it.
He's going to move all in here. He's going to move all in.
That hand's actually good enough to move all in with. It's kind of hand where if somebody has just if somebody has a naked ace, he's not really that far ahead of Jesus. And in this case, Barry's way behind.
He's moved all in. Look at this. Barry's going to make the call. Wow, for $325.
That's just throwing money away.
Unbelievable.
Barry's got to catch a king, a queen, or a 10, and it can't
It's
be
not
a
a club. Oh, a 10 comes off on the turn. And the river's a deuce. Oh,
that's brutal.
My goodness.
That's brutal.
And Jesus ends up making trip deuces on the river.
It just adds insult to injury there.
Oh. And with Jesus getting up for the table, Dave.
Really, what's the point of continuing?
That's going to do it for us for Live at the Bike. And what an incredible night we've had. I mean, just unbelievable action.
Crazy.
One of the best nights we've ever had at Live at the Bike.
It seems like we're saying that every Friday night now.
I know, it's incredible. And if you want to see some more action, of course, tomorrow night we're going to be doing our live action tournament $200 game, which is a $200 cash game, but we actually use pink marker chips, and the winner of each pot gets a chip, and the winner of the person with the most chips at the end of the night actually wins a bounty.
Yeah,
and that is insane action as well.
Well, everybody wants to get that bounty.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, last time we did it, we saw a guy, burn off about $800 in the last half an hour going for those pink chips.
Well, cool. Well, I'll see you tomorrow at 6.
Yeah. So that's going to do it for us. For David Tuckman, I'm Bart Hansen. Good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the Bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.